We're live. Join in the live stream if you're around. If you're not eating dinner, uh, I started doing them now. I'm going to start doing them a little bit later. It's 5:46 p.m. Pacific time here on the Gulf Islands. Current temperature 9 degrees Celsius. I'm going to have to run shortly. I'm heating up the oven because we're doing some prawns. Doing some prawns tonight, coconut prawns. So I'm going to get those guys in the oven. Our power just came on. Our power was out for a couple of hours. Why? I don't know. I really don't know why the power was out. It's not even windy here. But anyway, it's raining out here currently, but it is mild. Very mild. Seasonal weather is good for our garden. Okay, put that there. And like I say, join in, man. Join in the live stream. Last night was a good live stream. Got a little agitated a little bit at one point. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to offend any of you, but there's somebody in there that was agitating me. And if he agitates me today, I'm going to get him out of here. Texas heat. Hello, Abstract Tom. Good to see you in there. I just got in. Our power was out for hours here. So, it was just kind of boring hanging around here. I couldn't talk on my radios. I couldn't work the internet. The water doesn't even work here when the power goes out. Like when the power's out, you can't even turn on the taps. No water will come out because we're on a well. We're on a deep well here. And the pump is run by power, right? Electricity. So we took a drive to the very south end. Jennifer, how are you doing in there? Good to see you in there, my friend. How are things up where you are? I'm guessing all the snow is melted, right? I'm thinking it's melted. Yeah, I bet you're liking your new place. We actually had a real estate lady here today looking at this place because it's going through our mind to relocate, right? So we had our friend, the real estate agent, look at this place and assessment values. We just got our assessment in the mail today, and it's gone up another 5%. It's ridiculous. Yes, melting. Okay, good. Good. I'm looking outside and I see the robins all over the place. And robins are here year round, but there's lots of robins. We down to the south end, eating in the Rock Salt restaurant at the ferry terminal there at Fulford. See the robins out there picking in the grass, but there's lots of tree frogs. At first we were thinking Costa Rica. We tried that work, but Vancouver Island. If we do indeed sell, which we may put it for sale in the spring, it's a thought that's going through our mind. Vancouver Island, downsize somewhere like Chemainus, or Cowichan Bay, which is kind of like right across from Salt Spring Island. If we do, and get something that's fairly new, and maybe one level like a rancher, a smaller yard. It sucked to start all over again, though. I mean, this landscape here is mature. I've been here 30 years at this place, so I'd have to start all over again. But that is the plan: is to downsize and then and just have more money, and then travel more and stuff like that. So that's a thought that's going through our mind. But anyway, she gave us a rough idea, what we could sell this for and all that stuff. So it was a good to have a good talk with the real estate lady today. I saw you got some bamboo. I got some myself added to. Oh, cool. Right on. Yeah, you should see our bamboo collection, Dustin. We have tons of bamboo here. That's just a very small portion of it, that truckload. We have so much bamboo on our property, it would probably blow your mind. Many different species. I think we must have at least 20 different species of bamboo grown. We have like a bamboo forest in one part of the garden there. It's kind of cool. You can walk through it and it's all bamboo, right? But yeah, that was black bamboo. It was growing in a park. And what was happening was encroaching on one of the paths in the park. And they called me. I used to work for parks, and they says, "Hey, Joe, if you want some of this bamboo, take it. It'll save them taking it out because they're just going to get rid of it." So I went with my pickaxe and my shovel, and it took me an hour from start to finish. It was brutal, and they were very happy because they want to open up the path, the sight line, because there's a lot of hooligans that hang out there and make a mess. So does the bamboo mix very well with palms? Yep, it does. The problem is if you got really good soil, it's going to probably suck a lot of the life out of your palm trees and knit the soil together. So if you have it with your palms, you might want to put a root barrier in that between the palms and the bamboo. There are some. Oh yeah, same with Salt Spring. We're covered in forest. We are covered in forest. Hey Jennifer, how's your little dog? How is your doggy? Yeah, we have lots of forest on this island too. Heavily forested conifers, Douglas fir, grand fir, balsam, grand fir, hemlock, western hemlock, Pacific yew. But there's not as many Pacific yew, and then we have BLEs, the broadleaf evergreens too, right? So yeah, a lot of evergreen. It's an evergreen place. It's a very green place year round here on the Gulf Islands and Vancouver Island. So, but 7th birthday on Wednesday. Oh my God. It's so funny because he looks like a little puppy. And we were walking today down North Beach Road, and Korean Wiener Inception. Korean. You know what I saw today cruising by? A big Hong Kong freighter. It said Hong Kong in the back. I actually shot a video of it. 7, wish him a happy birthday for me and Wendy, from Wendy and I. Ours will be 10 on April 3rd. April 3rd. It's funny. So we're walking our dog today, and everybody that sees our dog say, "Oh, what a cute puppy." I say, "He's not a puppy." I say, "He's probably older than your dog." And I asked them how old their dog was, and he says, "Well, our dog's going to be 7 years old." I says, "Ours has got just about 3 years on it." It's maybe because he's so small. Okay, thank you for telling me. Put it in, Andrew. Yeah, it runs about 21 inches deep, bamboo, but I would put a 2-foot barrier, bamboo barrier in there. You can buy the stuff by the roll, right? And it'll prevent it from spreading. So if you live on rocky soil like we do, I will, Kahu, and same with yours too. I'm glad we got to meet your little doggy. And if you're ever down here again, stop in and say hi. Maybe we won't be living here. Who knows? Maybe we'll be over in Chemainus. You know where Chemainus is. We're looking at, those are areas we're actually looking at. It's not 100%, but if we did move, it will be over to the Big Island, just because there's more things to do over there. Yours does look like a puppy. He's tiny. Same with ours. Ours is, I think, 8 pounds, something like that. And he looks even smaller when he gets a haircut. She gets him groomed every 6 weeks. So every 6 weeks he goes in for his little trim, and he looks a little bit smaller. He looks even smaller, Jennifer, when he gets wet, when he goes in the ocean. He does like to swim. Believe it or not, if we go into the ocean, he will follow us out there. He wants to be with us. And he's just, you know what your dog's like. Your dog's just happy being with you. If you go on holidays, your dog wants to come with you. If you go to the grocery store, you got to make it a service dog. See, so Wendy's is like the little service dog. She takes him everywhere. Do you think Bigfoot Squad would hold a palm tree hostage as last? You hold a palm tree hostage. We ain't holding any of my palm trees hostage. He lives on Baharatera. I can't even. Baharatera. That's how you say it. Baharatera. Wherever that is, I don't know. I meant your puppy Jackson loves splashing in the shower. Oh, cool. So he does go in the water. Jackson does like water too. Right on. Yeah. I mean, Kahu wouldn't like the cold water at this time of the year, but in the summertime, he loves to swim around in the ocean. I see your video where Kahu chases him out. Oh my God. You know what? It was so funny. I shot that video probably about 4 years ago, and there was a stovepipe at the back. So we went out our back door, and there was like a kind of like a stovepipe, a sheet metal stovepipe sitting on the deck for years. I don't even know why it was there. And a mouse must have climbed up the hose on the back of the house and fallen down the stovepipe. And I'm going to let that little mouse go, the poor mouse. And is Banana Joe a real person? Is Banana Joe a real person? Banana Joe, do you know who Banana Joe was? He was actually an actor. Banana Joe Bud Spencer, Italian actor. So anyway, I see Kahu there looking at the pipe and barking. He doesn't know there's a mouse in there, but he must smell it. And I said, little mouse, I'm going to let you go. You don't have to worry. The dog's not going to hurt the mouse. I didn't think the dog would touch the mouse. The minute I lift up the stovepipe, the dog grabs the mouse and kills it. He shakes it and kills the poor little mouse. I felt totally bad, but that's what Yorkies do. They were bred for killing rodents. I'm just going to start saying randomness here until you get bored of it. I don't get bored. Can't get bored. AJ, greetings from, oh yeah, India. Lots of palms where AJ is. Good morning from India, 7:30 a.m., 5:56. Palm Tree Dude is a fake account. Palm Tree Dude. Hey, is Palm Tree Dude in here? Anyway, you are real. I bet AJ planted a new palm. There's lots of palms in India, and there's mountains in India too. So anyway, he killed our little dog, killed the mouse, and he's killed about 4 rats now. He's got 4 rats to his name, and you should see when these little Yorkies kill rats. So, and I know Jennifer knows that Yorkies were bred for rodent control in England. I guess they'd send them into the factories or whatever. And man, and you know the story about the rat in our tiki hut. So I store a lot of potted plants in this tiki hut for winter, and I put a tarp in the front. And I had this beautiful, Wendy and I had this beautiful citrus tree, trunk on it about that big. And I went in there a few weeks after I put it in, and all the bark was eaten off. Rat did it. And I'm trying to catch this rat for weeks. Anyway, Wendy was out in the garden one day. Kahu's with her. The rat comes running out of the tiki hut. The dog grabs the rat so fast, it went into the ivy, pulls the rat out, and killed her right in front of her. Jackson ran up to a rat while we're walking this past. He sniffled, looked at me, and what do that's funny, Jennifer. No killer. Okay. So yeah, Kahu still kills him. But I had one in a trap one time, and I let it was still alive. So I let it out of the trap. I thought the dog would kill it, and of course it ran away. The dog does not like rats have been in traps. Hopefully the supposed palm grower from Nova Scotia doesn't try to poop. Oh yeah, no, I posted that in people who love palm trees, and they just know the guy's full of crap. Is a volcano and soil eruption caused a terrible gardener disappear off the island? We don't have any volcanoes here that I know of, but there is volcanic stuff here. Your videos are always spectacular. Thank you. I know I got to get a new camera. So like I say, I shot it really good. We went for a walk today. Wendy and I, and we're walking down the road, and she says, look up at that bald eagle. And I says, you better put your dog on the leash because Jackson and Kahu is an hors d'oeuvre for a bald eagle. Bald eagles are big birds. It's a huge bird, and you could see this thing up on the branch of the Douglas fir, dead top of a tree on a branch sticking out, looking kind of down at the dog. So she put the dog on the leash because you don't want the dog running ahead of us because the eagle could probably swoop down and grab it. So anyway, my camera here is Hooper. The audio on this thing is screwed, and eventually I do have to get a new camera. The batteries, unfortunately, are very weak in my GoPro. It's getting so old, so I'm going to have to get a new Canon camera. That's what I shoot my videos on. I've gone through about 7 or 8 of these already. There's another one. That one actually has good audio, but poor lens. God. I don't know what type of bamboo I got found to grow in the woods on my family. Wow, cool. I wonder what it is. Anyway, AJ, thanks for watching the videos and tuning in. Buffering. Am I buffering? I'm going to grow sugar cane. Yeah, it works in the heat, man. There's people in non-tropical climates that grow as kind of as an annual in the summertime. It grows pretty fast, sugar cane, because it's kind of I think a seasonal plant. So much of that stuff in Hawaii, man, it's just unbelievable. I watch them burn it. They burn it, then they harvest it, right? So, but I wonder what your dog would do, Jennifer, if it was in a room with a rat. I wonder if Jackson would kill the rat. Oh, you know what I do? I got to put the, hang on, my oven's heated up. I got to put prawns in the oven. I'll be right back. I've heated the oven. Prawns are ready to go in the oven. Okay, be right back. How long did it take? About 15 minutes?
Oh, I don't know. Did you just put them in? No, yeah, about 15.
Okay, guys, I cannot forget. 6:15. I have to take. Oh, Jennifer, your streaming connection will improve when you. Yes. Oh man, we will have fiber optics. So if we get off of the island, we will have fiber optics over there, and it's fast. It's lagging. Is it lagging? Dead SpongeBob SquarePants fry pan. He is buffering for me for some. He isn't buffering. Okay, so I'm not buffering for Palm Tree Dude, but I am Am I buffering for you, Jennifer? How's the stream looking? Can you see me okay, or is it kind of lagging? That's the thing, when we go to Port Renfrew, and I don't know how it was. You stayed at they grow sugar cane in coastal Louisiana, of course, South Florida. Nice fields of it. So they grow a lot of it there too. I'm going from a few nodes this summer. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've eaten sugar cane, lots of raw sugar cane. You just you don't swallow it or anything, but you suck the sugar out of it. Very, how do I say, fibrous. So, Jennifer, how's your internet up there? I'm guessing it's pretty fast. When we were in Port Renfrew, when we go to Port Renfrew, they have fiber optics there. It is so fast. Like I say, when I am uploading a movie, like if I upload a 5-minute movie here, it takes hours. It takes hours to upload a 5-minute YouTube video. And in Port Renfrew, by the time I finish putting in tag words and all the information, it's pretty much already uploaded. That's how fast it is over on the West Coast. He isn't buffering for me. Okay, that's good. I have found a house surrounded by humongous Italian cypress trees. Oh, cool. Cypress, we grow lots of those here on Salt Spring. They're cool trees. We have one in our garden. I grew it from seed that somebody brought me from the French Riviera. So they brought me a bunch of seed, and I grew probably about 10 of them. And I should have kept all the other ones, but I gave them away to people. People would visit my garden. I give them a little Italian cypress. So it's been in the garden for years. And it's going to stay with the place if we ever sell it. I can't dig everything up. Isn't Victoria the only major city in Vancouver Island? No. Oh, God, no. There's Port Alberni. Well, Port Alberni is small. There's Nanaimo. There is Duncan. There is Victoria. And you know what? Port Alberni. Maybe Port Alberni. That's kind of like, well, it's not a major city. So I'd say, Comox. Comox. And Comox has an airport too. Nanaimo has an airport and ferry terminal at Comox, ferry terminal at Nanaimo, 2 ferry terminals in Nanaimo and Victoria. So there's a few cities on Vancouver Island. If you were to move off Vancouver Island, looking at Vancouver Island, how do you remove the fruit from sable seed? Do you know how I do it? I got a video of me doing it too. I take a fish pounder, baseball bat, and I put them in a big tub, and I just kind of go like this, and I stir them up, and then it took them off. Before I was doing it by hand, it's so sticky, but that's how I was doing it with I got a YouTube video on here. You can see it was probably 10 years old. Somebody sent me 1,000 or 1,500 sable seeds from North Carolina or wherever, and that's how I did it. I threw them in a big tub, bucket, and stirred them around. You did a couple minutes, but it seems okay. Good, perfect. And I know you probably have high speed up there, Jennifer, like fiber optics, and it's fast to upload things, right? When you're doing your videos, I'm sure it's really quick to upload them. I don't know the national park in Ohio. Apparently, that there was a national park in Ohio. Well, that's cool. The person who claims probably named Brandon. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I posted that. I just like whatever. There's no Washingtonia palms in Nova Scotia. You know what I mean? There are palm trees in Nova Scotia. There are Trachycarpus palm trees in Nova Scotia. Small ones that get boxed in. The big one in Halifax is dead. Internet is great. Fastest. Oh wow, is that right? Well, that's good, man. It's so nice, Jennifer, to have fast internet. Slow internet really sucks. So here we're so far from the relay box, and that's what the TELUS told us. We have a TELUS provider, and they said because we're so far from the source, it's so slow at this north end of the island. If you got closer to the source, the substation where the internet comes out of, or whatever switching station, whatever they have it, he says it would be way faster. But here it's slow. When I go to town, it's fast. I understand wanting to downsize, live in a single wide modular home. Cool. You know what? There's nothing wrong with those at all, Dustin. Smart man. Easy to look after, easy to heat. We want something, maybe she might run a B&B again. We don't know. But if we downsize, maybe about 1,500 square foot, 3 bedrooms, couple bathrooms, smaller yard, half acre. So, and, we'd landscape it, preferably with no landscape. But, have to start from scratch again. I heard that Canada it is kind of like that with the guy running the show. It's kind of like socialist country now. I would say, yeah, we're under a dictatorship. There's no doubt about it. Notice how people say modular instead of saying mobile home. Yeah, because a modular is a mobile home, but hey, there's some really nice modular homes around. There are some nice ones around. People's Republic of Canada, China, I call it. It's pretty bad, man. So that's the plan. So the real plan is, this is what we really want to think about doing. Downsizing, going to Vancouver Island, and then traveling to like Mexico or Costa Rica or Belize. This is our plan. looking for something down there, and then if we could always buy something down there and then sell and then move down there, or just stay down there for many months of the year if we can do that. So it's just a thought that's run through our mind. I'm not saying we're going to do it for 100%, but these are things we're thinking. But like I say, the real estate lady was here today looking at our place. And it's funny, we got our land assessment in the mail today. The same day she comes, and our land assessment has gone up 5%. Last year it went up 40, what was it, 45%. It was insane. I mean, it's just the price of property here is ridiculous on Salt Spring Island. So we can sell this and buy something cheaper over in Vancouver Island. Mexico doesn't seem too epic right now. No, if you watch the news, they're showing you at Mazatlan is crazy. But I watched a video on a lady in Mazatlan. She's had a video going there, and she says, "Don't believe everything you see on the news." It's like, it's totally fine here. It's like, wow. I love how they always label themselves Democratic Republic company. Oh yeah, no, they're terrible, man. The guys running this country are just awful. But the nice thing about Mexico, it's a heck of a lot freer than Canada, man. It's just not that way here anymore. With all those mandates they had, now he's coming for people's firearms, even hunters, respectable, law-abiding citizens. Like, criminals will always get guns. Okay, I have firearms, but I took a course. I had to actually take a course to get those firearms. It was an all-day course. I was in there from early morning till close to 7 o'clock at night. Had to write to do 2 exams in order for me to buy firearms. I had to do 2 exams. You know what I mean? I'm a law-abiding citizen, but yet these criminals can go. The guns that he's banning, the criminals will always get. But yet he's going to take them away from us. It doesn't make sense. My friend went to Cancun this past summer. They had have an entire resort guard. See, I don't like that stuff, man. I don't like that. See, Mexico's never been high on my priority list, but I can't go to Hawaii. I cannot go to Hawaii anymore because I'm not vaccinated. I'm not allowed to fly to Hawaii. Did you know that? Biden still has mandates on. I don't know if you guys know that, but I know that. Biden still has mandates on. I cannot fly into Hawaii. I can drive into the U.S., but I can't fly into the U.S. Islamic cartel. Yeah, I know there's some pretty sketchy dudes in Mexico, too. And there's some pretty rough places, even in Vancouver. Yes, I have half an acre yard, and my house is bedroom, too. Cool. That's awesome, man. That's all you need. You know what? I'd love to go to Florida. You know what? But I can't move to the U.S. It's not easy for me to move to the U.S. That is what I have. Basically, rancher, 2-bedroom plus 2-bath. You know what? That is the perfect house, Jennifer, right there. That is the perfect size house on a 1/4 acre lot. Yeah, I saw your place. It looks pretty awesome. You know what? Good size, easy to maintain, low maintenance, easy to heat. 2-bedroom, that's all you need, plus an office. Doesn't get better than that. You could drive to Bellingham, Everett, Seattle. No, I don't think so. Or could I? Because I think, no, we can't, because he's got mandates for people that, isn't that the way it is for not vaccinated? You can't fly to Hawaii. I'm sure the mandates are still on. Can a Canadian fly to Hawaii? Let me just look at that. I don't think I can. I'm ready to take these things out of the oven soon. Can a Canadian move to Arkansas? No, that's what I was looking up last. Can a Canadian fly to Hawaii? Pretty sure he's got entry. Canadians arriving May. Oh, just a minute. 10-day quarantine. So if I fly to Hawaii, I got a quarantine. I think there's a 10-day quarantine. Can I fly? Can Canadians visit Hawaii right now? Traveling, arriving Hawaii directly from there must be still U.S. federal requirements. See, so I think I have to quarantine if I go there, and I'm not quarantining anywhere when I go on holidays and wasting some of my vacation time hanging out in a hotel. Mine is 1982 single wide. My mom used to have one of those. My mom and dad neglected, decided they put one on the other half of our property. Hi, Mike. Good to see you in there. And I know a lot of people do fly to Bellingham and take off from there, or SeaTac. You could adopt a nice girl. You could adopt a nice girl my age, and I could her, and then you and easy. It's funny. My oldest son lived in the USA. He lived in Texas. You know that, but he married a girl from Texas. So anyway, it sounds like he got a good place there, Dustin. And Jennifer, definitely a beautiful place as well. No doubt about it. That's, 1,300, 1,500 square foot is good. This one here is about a couple thousand square foot. But I mean, I raised 3 kids here, and Wendy, I mean, she's got a B&B here and a B&B on the other side as well. So up in the property. Did you hear about El Chapo's story, Mexico? Now he's stuck in prison in Colorado. No way. Are you serious? He's in prison? We can get 10,000 runners in mechanical. Isn't that crazy? I know that's what Wendy said. That's what Wendy said. People are coming over the border all the time into Mexico, from Mexico into the US, but I can't go. I'm a law abiding citizen. And I phoned on my passport again today. So here's my old passport. So can you believe it? So anyway, so at the end of October, I renewed my passport. So they send you your old passport back and they stamp it, right? They stamp your passport. There's my old passport right there. Good for 10 years. They stamp it. And so that was the end of October. And I said, this is the third time I phoned them. And I said, where's my passport? And they said, oh, we're still processing it. And it'd probably be another, basically another month before I get my passport. Can you believe how slow the government is? Crazy. Joe, we have 2 new doors on the front of our. Oh, cool. Right on. We have 2 new doors on front door. Cool. Gotta like new doors, man. Fly to Mexico and cross. Maybe I should. I could learn Spanish. Jose Clementos. Well, yay. It makes sense, doesn't it? I'm going to go turn off the oven. Hang on. Be right back. Hang on. I'm going to turn off the oven. Somebody said I like it. Okay. I was lucky that Wendy pulled the prawns out of the oven. You leave them in too long and they're going to burn. They're like kind of coconut prawns. Anyway, you know what? That's a good way to do it. We could go to Mexico illegally, or actually legally, and come into the States illegally, and then we become landed immigrants, right? Or refugees. My old house was 1,217 square feet. 1,217. Hey, you know what? If there's only a couple of people in the house, 3 people in that house, that's fine. That's big enough. Some people have massive houses and it's just a waste of space. Because of the firefighters broke the old doors, I stopped them. And what? They broke the doors? What the? Hey, Joe, I can't stay long, but did you? Causing a lot of flooding on the island. No, we don't get flooding here. There's no atmospheric river here. There's rain, but it's not that bad. It was kind of raining off and on today. It stopped for a bit, then it's raining again. But no, we call it the Pineapple Express here. But no, we don't get flooding on Salt Spring Island, really, because it's kind of high and dry on a rock. Swear, even after the heaviest rain, you'd be hard-pressed to find a puddle on our property, right? The creek will be flowing good. We got the creek in the back 40, but no. It's the only thing you'll see is sometimes water going across the road a little bit if a culvert gets plugged in one of the ditches, right? So it'll be flowing across, but there's no such thing as actually flooding on Salt Spring Island. On the mainland, they get flooding. Out in Abbotsford last year, Sumas, southeast of Vancouver, 40 miles or so, they had major flooding. My backyard becomes a marsh every time. Really? Wow. Yeah, not ours. It's down in the ravine. It does. Joe, what's the largest creek on Salt Spring? Well, we have Salt Spring, Fulford Creek. Fulford Creek runs from Ford Lake into the ocean, so it'd be Fulford Creek. There's Mowat's Creek, but that's kind of seasonal. I'm trying to think what other. There's Duck Creek too. Duck Creek is a big one too. Duck Creek runs from St. Mary Lake into the west side, into the Pacific Ocean as well, but on the west side, and then. Fulford Creek runs from Ford Lake, which is on the south end, into the Fulford Harbor, into the Pacific Ocean. And there's in that creek, there are crawfish, little crawfish things. There are clams. There's freshwater clams in there too. So your creek is no, our creek's tiny. Ours is a tiny creek, minor creek. Ours dries up in the summertime. Sadly, a lot of people seem to look down upon older mom. I don't look down. My mom and dad had an older one. It was nice. Matter of fact, so when my mom and dad bought here on Salt Spring Island, they bought in 1978. They bought 10 acres. And then in 1980, they bought a mobile home that had a basement put underneath it and a porch put around it, single wide, but then it was built on off one side. So when I'd come over to Salt Spring to visit, I would stay there. I would stay on that property. It was 2.3 acres, and the mobile home was like circa 1974, but it did actually have a basement in it. It was actually kind of cool. I liked it. It looked really good, and it had a really nice covered porch around it. I got this guy down the road. He does woodwork. He's putting live edge. You know what? That's fine. And if that's your home, that's a good thing, man. Home sweet home. Doesn't matter if it's a mobile home or a fifth wheel. I know people live in fifth wheels. As long as you're happy, sounds cozy, right? Easy to heat. So yeah, GD Gardens, no flooding here. He also made me furniture from the wood. So I'm right on. Cool. That sounds nice, dude. That would make a good YouTube video. You know that? You could do that. How to remodel a mobile home or modular. These people who think extremely cold weather house needed to be locked up, there's nothing. No, I don't like cold weather. It sucks. That to me, yeah, no, I'm just going to say I don't like it. I don't like cold weather. And as I get older, I hate it anymore. Have property with an acre of land is pricey. Yeah, we have 2 acres here. I used to have 5. I had just over 5 acres that I sold on the mainland before I came here. So Wendy and I have 2 acres here. Her old place was 3/4 of an acre on Salt Spring Island. Okay, I'm going to get my prawns. Wait here. I'm going to get my prawns. I'm going to show you my prawns. Are they ready? Huh? Are you eating? Okay, guys, this is what I'm eating right here. I'd share some with you, but we can only do it virtually. See these prawns? Coconut prawns. There's the tail, and you can actually eat the tail on these guys too. So anyway, if we end up doing that, we're going to downsize and we'll get just like I say, half acre or big lot or something. Those are good. Sorry, guys, I'm eating in front of you. Palm Nation, there's some people, like on my radios there, I'll flip that around so you can see my radio room. I talk to Alaska a lot, and the other day I was talking to a guy in Alaska and it was 2 degrees. That's cold, man. I had a girlfriend who ate the tails. Oh, I eat the tails. These are crispy tails, but eat it all. How many bedrooms do we have? This house? 3 bedrooms. Then downstairs, it's got a whole nother room with another bathroom. That's a B&B. So it's got 3 bathrooms. And then the suite downstairs where the B&B guests stay, that's where the other bathroom is. So there's 2 bathrooms upstairs, 1 bathroom downstairs, then a whole nother bedroom. So basically 4 bedrooms. Basically 4 bedrooms here. Why, you want to buy it? For sale. No, we'll put it for sale. Not for sale yet. You're eating some cheese right now. Hey, Palm Planet. How you doing there, buddy? Sorry, guys, I'm eating my dinner right now. The power was out here, so Wendy and I took a drive to the south end, and we went for poutine. Are you moving? It's crossing our mind. It's been crossing our mind. As we get older, we want to downsize. There's a guy moved here from Maine. No, people do that here too. They'll move here from Alberta, and I have nothing against Alberta. Say we get way more sunshine in Alberta in the wintertime than you guys get here. I says, well, then you should have just stayed in Alberta. Any idea why the power went out? I think they're just working on the lines, but there's no wind here. Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island, probably like Chemainus or Cowichan Bay. There's palm trees there. Big palm trees. Lots of palm trees. Am I lagging? Am I lagging, you guys? Those are really good. Coconut prawns. Sweet and Tommy Bahamas. Palm tree, he's in Tennessee. No, no. He's in D.C., Washington, D.C. Or it will be better, way better. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's our plan. Um, Depends what part of Salt Spring you're on. There's some parts of Salt Spring are evenly as warm as Victoria, mild, and there's some parts that are colder. Victoria gets more wind than Salt Spring. That's the only drawback. Thank you so much. Trying to get into a career. Oh, wow, cool. Well, I was a gardener for the Parks Department for years, and the company I work for now, they came up to me last week and they said they want to put me in charge of the gardens there. I go, pretty awesome. I said, you know what? There's going to be a lot of palm trees in that garden if I'm in charge. Yeah. If you remember me, I'm in Virginia. So, yeah. So if I get put in charge of the gardens where I work, there will be palm trees in that garden. You know what goes good with prawns? Water. Hmm? Drink lots of water. I got to work tomorrow. You know what I haven't seen in here for a while is White with Dreamy Eyes. I wonder where Dave is. See, where Dave lives, it gets really cold. Dave is like a hardcore northerner. Up in Prince George gets really cold. Mm-hmm. My old house was 135,000. That's cheap. My God, that is cheap, man. You're lucky. I won't even tell you what this place is assessed at. It's up there. Man, I wish houses were that cheap here. How long ago was that? Am I still lagging? Hopefully, I'm not lagging. I'm just about to finish these prawns. I love these prawns. Local prawns in our waters are so good. I'm not lagging. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. Did your assessment go up too, Jennifer? Because everything seems to be going up. Joe, what is more hardy around Salish Sea? Camarops? Camarops. No doubt about it. Camarops. Butias are just notorious for losing their center spears here. I'll never probably plant a butia again unless somebody gives me one. 1999, okay. Well, if you bought it in 1999, it's going to be worth a lot more now. That was 24 years ago. Prices have gone up. You know what? Prices keep going up. It's crazy. It's just, I don't know how younger people can even afford houses these days. And even rent. You know, I worked with one guy and he's renting a place here and it's just a room. It's $1,500 a month. Just to rent a freaking room, And the only person that's benefiting from that, well, he's got a roof over his head, but the landlord, of course, right? Landlord's making money, but you're not putting any money into the equity. You're not building up equity. You know what I mean? At least if you own a house, even if you have a mortgage on that house, you're paying the mortgage down. I know it takes time to pay it down, but that's equity, right? I wanted to move to California someday, but it is so expensive, Palm Planet. It really is. My old house is on the market for $224. God, that's cheap. Man, you can't get anything on our island for under $500,000. Under $500,000. It's unbelievable. I need to move to a place like Arkansas or something. You know what I mean? I bet your houses are really cheap in Arkansas. Plant a sweet gum in my yard. Green. Oh yeah, they're here too. They're still green, and there's some big ones by the Mormon. There's a Mormon church here, about 6 miles from here, and there's a row of them. I got videos of them. They turn really red. Those ones, liquid ambers, but they're used a lot as street trees in Victoria and stuff like that. There's one in the park that I sold somebody in memory of her husband years ago. I helped her pick it out when I worked at a nursery. And it's, as far as I know, it's still green. Hey, I drove by the olive farm today. Wendy and I drove by the olive farm this afternoon, and they are absolutely flawless. The 3,000 olive trees that are growing there are absolutely gorgeous. Cheap inland, but coastal anywhere. Yeah, anywhere coastal is expensive. I had considered moving to Prince George until it's really cold up there, Jennifer. You'd have to get more clothes for your little dog. You'd have to get more winter clothes for yourself, but your dog would not like that. Jackson probably would not like minus 40 degrees. Gets really brutally cold up there. My camera ops was damaged last year. Okay, so our camera ops are good, and the Butia lost its center spear. It still looks good, but the center spear is gone. Yeah, it's cold up there, man. I do have a friend that lives up in Prince George, and he likes it. And I mean, you can make any place your home as long as you can dress for the cold and you don't mind cold weather. I don't like really cold weather. As I get older, I'm 58 years old. The older I get, the less I like cold weather. I'm always willing to learn as much as I can. I turned 23 years old. When I turned 23 years old, I've been here for 7 years now. Oh, you're young. 23. When I turned 23. Wow, so you're 30. Wow, you're young. Good for you that you bought that when you're 23, man. That's awesome. My youngest son is 22, on his way to 23. Dave is a hardcore northerner. Dave is a hardcore northerner. And Dave's been here a couple of times. Good old Dave. Gotta love Dave. Dave is an awesome guy. And I really like, there's White with Dreamy Eyes right there. Right there. There is White with Dreamy Eyes. Yours, there he is. And then there's his daughter. She was on the live stream with us, his youngest daughter, and then his wife back there too, right? So that was over by the wife's art gallery. So yeah, he stayed here a few times. And Jennifer has been here too. Jennifer stayed here for a week. Jennifer, totally awesome gal. Check out her YouTube channel. And actually, Jennifer and I did several live streams. I'd be live streaming out on the back sun deck, and Jennifer definitely joined in some live streams here. So a good gal, just got a cute little doggy. Generally, Wendy doesn't have dogs stay in our B&B, but because Jennifer has a Yorkie and we have a Yorkie, and Yorkies are hypoallergenic. They don't shed fur all over the place. They're nice, clean little dogs. Fine, right? Because some people are allergic to dogs. And if you have a dog in here that sheds hair all over the place or fur, and you miss some of that fur when you're cleaning up and the next people, check in and they're allergic to dogs, you're going to get a bad rating. They stay late. I've never been fully. Yeah. I know. They're pretty amazing trees. They really are. I'm a northerner, but our part of the north. Yeah, exactly. You're a mild northerner. I'm a northerner too. Joe, I was just looking at Victoria Clipper prices. It's a little less expensive now, 2019, but demand fell off for the COVIDers. They've not recovered. Oh, yeah. So the Victoria Clipper runs from Victoria to Seattle, which is 98 kilometers. It's a 98 kilometers, so it's 57 miles or something. It's from Seattle to Victoria. It's about 57 miles. It's not that far. And the Clipper runs back and forth there. It's just a passenger ferry only. Dave basically lives in the Arctic. Yeah, he's up there 50. I don't know what the latitude is. I think it's like 54 degrees or something. It's up there. The ferry, I've never been on the Clipper. There's also a ferry that leaves from Swartz Bay, near Swartz Bay, in Sydney on Vancouver Island, just south of Salt Spring. And you can take it over to the San Juan Islands, which are the same archipelago as our islands. And then that ferry can carry on and take you to Anacortes on the Washington mainland, right? Washington State. But the ferry that I've taken a few times, it also runs from Victoria and it goes over to Port Angeles. So it's an hour and a half trip from Victoria, and the U.S. Customs, they'll actually check you in Victoria, which is totally awesome. So when you get off the ferry, the Coho ferry, the Black Ball Express, hour and a half across the Juan de Fuca, you're in Port Angeles on the Olympic Peninsula, and then you can either go left or you can either go right off the boat, or you can stay in a hotel for the night if you get there later. We stayed in the hotel one night, and then we carry on to Olympia, Washington. We drive through Sequim down to Olympia, and then boot it over to Aberdeen, and then from Aberdeen we go down to the Oregon coast. That's the way we do it. And I want to do that again. I really want to go down to the Oregon coast. It's so nice down there, but I haven't been there for a while. I need to get down to Brookings again. I don't know if Wendy's ever been down to Brookings. She needs to get to Brookings. She needs to see what grows down in Brookings. The palm trees in Brookings are unreal. Olympic is gorgeous. I visited a number of years ago. They are so nice. The Olympic Peninsula, Washington State, amazing. That's why they call it the Evergreen State. Washington is the Evergreen State. And where we stay, like I say, in Port Renfrew on the west coast of the Big Island of Vancouver Island. The Big Island is Vancouver Island here, right? So we live on the Gulf Islands. We call that the Big Island because it is a big island. And then, so when we drive over to Port Renfrew where we stay, when I'm standing at the ocean looking out, when I go to Botanical Beach, you can see a point of land out there, and that's called Nia Bay, the northwestern tip of Washington State. Can you see Mount Rainier in? Yes, you can. Absolutely. If you can see it from our island, you can see Mount Rainier from our island. If you go up high, if you go up on one of the big hills or the mountains, you can see Mount Rainier. And we also look directly across at Mount Baker in Washington State, which is quite a ways from us. I used to ski there when I lived on the mainland. So you can see Mount Baker, which is a volcano, and you can see Mount Rainier southeast of Seattle. Have you been to Crater? No, I've never been to Crater Lake, but I've been to Oregon many times, but never to Crater Lake. So, yeah, Mount Rainier is, the cool thing about when you're flying from Hawaii and you're flying back and you're above the clouds. So you're above the clouds, the sun's coming up, or it's above the clouds, but you can see the two mountaintops sticking above the clouds. The peak, the tip of Mount Rainier, and you can see Mount Baker in the distance, which is super cool. I think I have a video of it, of Mount Rainier sticking up, like the tip of it above the clouds. I'm going to run, but it was great. Yes, you too, Jennifer. It was a pleasure. And I will say hi to Wendy, and I will give Cow a pat, and make sure you give Jackson a pat too. And like I say, if you're ever down here, stop in and say hi. If we do end up moving eventually, well, keep in contact. We'll let you know where we go. All right. So have a good night, my friend. I got a part-time job, by the way. I retired from the Parks Department. So I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at Country Grocer. You've probably been to Country Grocer, the grocery store. I work in the maintenance department behind the scenes. Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I work there. So tomorrow's my work day. But that's okay. I start at 9. Anyway, have a good night, Jennifer. It was a pleasure, kiddo. Piece of me, I want to go to Brookings. You should go to Brookings, man. It's awesome. What's the best soil for bamboo, my friend? Golf course day. Okay, I'll tell you one thing about bamboo. If you have good soil, you have loamy soil, or you have clay soil, if you have a running bamboo, it can be very dangerous. Okay, dangerous meaning it's going to take over the frickin' place. If you have poor, dry, rocky soil or gravelly soil, we have rocky soil, sandstone and shale. And I did a video. Actually, it'll be on tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm going to put a video on tomorrow morning. We have this running bamboo that I planted probably over 20 years ago. I got it from a friend that lived down the road that had it all over her backyard, and she had some in a pot, and it was near dead. She didn't water it. She says, Joe, if you want that potted bamboo, take it. I think it might be dead. Anyway, I stuck it in the ground. The thing started shooting out, and it's a pretty vigorous runner. In the 20 years, it's only run about maybe 5 feet maximum from the center clump. It's still in a clump. It's because it's all rock around it, and the only place it ran was into the good soil in the garden where I put the good soil. So Eastern Washington has some desert areas. Yes, they do. Yeah, same with British Columbia. You get into a Soyuz, Oliver, Summerland, Peachland, even Lillooet, all those places, very dry. It's very, very dry there. It goes into Orville, Washington. Orville, Washington is extremely dry. Some big yucca elata growing in Orville, Washington, right? They were planted in 1961. I have photos of them in my photo album. My buddy took photos, and then I had some more recent photos sent to me. So they were planted in 1961. They're massive. I've been skiing in Utah. Supposedly it's the best powder in the world. It was much fun. Oh, yeah, Utah would be cool, too. I'd like to see Utah. I'd like to see St. George. St. George would be great. I used to do a lot of skiing when I was younger. Tons up in Whistler, Blackcomb area, Grouse Mountain, Seymour Mountain, Mount Washington, Mount Baker, Manning Park. So I've skied quite a few different mountains. That's awesome. Never been. And Mount Baker's in Washington State. I've skied there 3 or 4 times. That's awesome. Never been to Montana. My wife Wendy's been to Montana. Wendy's been a lot of different states because Wendy used to live in the States too, right? She used to live in North Dakota. So she's been all over the States. And then her mom had a condo in Palm Desert, and she'd go down there for 6 months. Then she sold it. She bought down in Sun City near Phoenix, and she'd be down there for 6 months in Phoenix. So Wendy would go down to Arizona too. St. George rocks. I know. I've never been there, but I know what it's like. I know exactly what it's like. High desert. They grow lots of palm trees there. Lots of Washingtonia flipper and camarops. I'd like to see Arizona. Yeah, I'd like to see Arizona. I've been to California. I've never been to Nevada. I've briefly been to Texas. Plane landed at Fort Worth, Dallas, and wasn't there very long, and I was en route to Miami. Utah Arches National Park is crowded. Yeah, I've never been to Utah, but it'd be a neat place to see. I'd also see like to see Salt Lake City, the Salt Lake, the Great Salt Lake. I think that would be super cool, right? Salt Lake would be freaking awesome. But Utah, St. George, if you guys want to see some cool palm trees, and I know Palm Tree Dude, Palm Planet, you know about the palm trees there. I really want to see a botanical garden, something in Cal. Yeah, like Huntington Botanical Gardens. Yeah, there's Huntington Botanical Gardens. Matter of fact, I think I have a, I think I have a book, tropical gardening, gardening. Just a minute. There's a book I have somewhere, and it's got Huntington Botanical Gardens in it. And I got so many books here. I'm just trying to figure out which one it is. It could be this one. This is a good book. See, this one is called The Subtropical Garden, right? And it might have Huntington Botanical Gardens because they grow everything in Huntington, right? Oh, cool. I have that plant in our garden. See this hardy bromeliad? This is a cool one to try, by the way. See in the bottom corner with the red on it right there? This one right. Let's grab my book right there. See that plant right there? That's a Chilean bromeliad. Chilean bromeliad is a pretty tough plant. I planted it in a garden about 15 years ago, and it's still going strong. It gets cool little flower on it inside, kind of down, and then it gets the red. The leaves turn red on it, really brilliant red. So Fascicularia bicolor, right there. That's one to try. Look it up. Chilean bromeliad. This is a really great book. I've had this one for years, but I know Huntington Botanical Garden. There are some pictures of it in here, and it's just like that place rocks, man. Look at that landscape. If you like jungle gardens, I don't know if you can see that. It's palmy. It is palmy. Palmy and balmy. There we go. If you want to go real palms, you got to move to Nova Scotia. Dipsis decipiens is my Dipsis decipiens. Oh yeah, nice palms. Dream palm. I like them too. California only has one native palm tree. Yes, it does. You betcha. Native to the southwestern deserts. 29 palms, Palm Desert, Palm Springs. I think there might be some native to Arizona too. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody said there are palms native to Arizona. So does Washingtonia, can it be found native in Arizona or not? Is that a myth? And how about Nevada? Is there a small stand somewhere of native Washingtonia growing in Nevada? Is that fact or fiction? I want to know. Maybe somebody's got to look that one up. Are there native palm trees in Nevada and Arizona? There is a stand. Okay, so it is true. They are, and so are the Washingtonia filifera. They are California fan palms, correct? Interesting. I didn't know if that was fact or fiction. I really don't see too many people post pictures of native palm trees in those areas. I don't think I ever have. Mexican fan palms can be found native in. Oh, wow. They are native in Arizona. Is that right? Mexican fan palms. Someone posted pictures on Palm Talk. All Filifera. Filifera are cool palms, man. They got the nice thick trunks on them. And just hardier too, right? Generally a hardier palm. My soil is pretty much nothing but sand. Oh, no, I don't think it's going to take over in sand. No. I mean, if there's soil in it, it might. No Robusta, all Filifera in IS. Is that right, Okay, US. There's no Robusta. Okay, so Robusta is a Mexican fan palm and only native to Mexico. And we all know it is less cold tolerant than Filifera. And that's why it grows so well in Nova Scotia. No native Robusta. That's why the guy posted a picture yesterday of that one growing in Nova Scotia. It was a Filifera, but we know it wasn't in Nova Scotia. We know it was in California. And, they grow so well in like street trees in California. They even actually grow them on Maui. Yeah, Fliferas go into Arizona. Cool. Northern Arizona is a lot different than Phoenix. Oh, yeah, it gets cold there. We have a friend that's in Sedona right now. Joe, I bet gave you something to Wendy. I bet gave you something to Wendy. I gave her. She has some prawns. I can tell you that. Nevada, I don't think so. I look up people like I look up people like as you've done so much with your art. I'm wanting, and it takes time. And if you're younger, it's even better. So you being a young guy, you're 30 years old. It's good to start. Like I started gardening probably when I was in my teens, right? Like, well, no, actually, yeah, I was in my teens. I'm going to say I was probably like before like actually planting stuff outside. I'm going to say, in my teens in the 1970s, but I've always grown tropical plants as a little kid. The very first tropical plant I got when I was 6 years old, I'll never ever forget it. Somebody asked me, what was the first tropical plant you got? um, know about the fact in Nova Scotia, they're definitely, yeah, if there's any growing outside, they're fake. So the very first tropical plant I got was a Schefflera, an umbrella tree, and it was in 1970, and I think it was around December 1970. It was the grand opening of Trail Bay Mall on the Sunshine Coast, up off the coast of British Columbia. They call it the Sunshine Coast, and they had all these plants set out in front of the mall on the floor. And because it was a grand opening for customer appreciation thing for coming to their store and the mall, they're giving out these free plants, and I got to pick out any plant I wanted to. I was with my dad, my mom, my sister. And the one that caught my eye the best, was the Schefflera, the umbrella tree. It was in a 4-inch pot. I'll never forget. It was in a tiny little pot, tiny little plant, nice big leaves on it, glossy leaves. I was in grade 1, and I picked that tree. And I had that tree for 20 years until I moved to Salt Spring Island, and then I gave it away to a relative. I gave it to the sister-in-law, and she's actually divorced from the brother-in-law now, so who knows where it is. But I had that tree for about 20 years, this umbrella tree, and that was the first tropical plant I got. But over the years, through the 70s, I'd be going to the nursery. I want that cactus. I had Venus flytraps and some cool looking. I remember I had some Madagascar palms when I was a kid, which aren't true palms. But I've dabbled in lots of tropical plants when I was a kid, but indoor tropical plants, right? Anyway, thanks for tuning in, Dustin. And it's really easy to create a jungle-like look in your garden if you pick the right species of plant. So, I mean, yeah, there's some people that really like the zone push. They push the envelope, and if it's a really bad winter, old man winter might weed out some of those wimpy plants. So if you don't want to be sorry after a bad winter and be crying because your plants are gone, pick something that's a little hardier, but still it's kind of tropical, right? First exotic ad for outdoors was the prickly pear. Oh, cool. Prickly pear cactus Michael had. Right on. Subscribe to Michigan Tropics on YouTube. Oh, that's Sasha Gucci. That's Sasha. He's from Romania. The first exotic plant, New Mexico is the old Arizona. Almost the whole state is high. Yes, my cousin lives in Albuquerque. I have a cousin that lives in Albuquerque. My cousin Donnie. He lived here. He was born and raised here on the coast. He moved to Hawaii. Lived in Hawaii for 10 years. 5 years Big Island. 5 years Oahu North Shore. And then he moved to Albuquerque because it was just too expensive in Hawaii. So I tried to plant a coconut here. You tried to plant a coconut? Cool. Is it still there? If it was Nova Scotia, it would still be there. It would still be there if it was Nova Scotia. Because remember, Nova Scotia is zone 10. Drink lots of water, folks. Lots of water. Yeah, no, I've done coconuts, but I'm not good with them. I first tried gardening 23 when I grew. Oh, jalapenos. Cool. Jalapenos are good. No, unfortunately, Virginia isn't warm enough. No, Nova Scotia is the bomb, man. Zone 10. Albuquerque is awesome, and I love. Yeah, I've never been to New Mexico. I'd love to go. My deceased neighbor and I were walking, and a woman wanted to get rid of. Asked me. Oh, that's cool. Right on. Good score, Mike. Good score. It's more like, yeah, I think the highest temperature, I think the highest growing zone in Nova Scotia is maybe bordering zone 7. I think in the southern part of Nova Scotia, it is probably around zone 7, I think. 7, Canadian zone 7, which is a lot different than a southern U.S. zone 7, right? And Sable Island might be bordering around 8A out on it's way out. Sable Island is kind of in the Gulf Stream. So it's probably 8A out there. New Mexico is nice and palmy, despite. Yeah, I know it's amazing the palms in New Mexico. I have had seed sent to me from Truth or Consequences. I've had seeds sent to me from Alamogordo. I don't know if I've had any from Albuquerque, but I've had them definitely from Truth or Consequences and Alamogordo, New Mexico. The island here, 8B, 9A. Depends where you are on the island. So there's areas in here that really don't go much ever below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Maybe in history, yeah, they have, but it's been a long time. So where the butillas grow, that's 9A. There's big butillas there that have never been protected, been outside there for 25, 26 years, 27 years, whatever. Here, we can fall back into 8B. They stayed above 8B. We went below, they stayed at 9 and we went below 9. Subscribe to Tropical YouTube, Tropical Plant Party YouTube. Lives in Ohio. Really? Santa Fe is the capital and so beautiful. I'm 7,200 feet. Wow, that's up there. Northern New Mexico, 7,200 feet. Is it hard to breathe up there? Actually, no, it's not because I've skied at those elevations, so it's not hard to breathe up there. Wow. Yeah, no, my uncle went down there. He's not around anymore, but to visit my cousin, and he loved it. He says he absolutely loved New Mexico. Yeah, it's the highest capital in the U.S. Is it really? That is so cool. New Mexico. Yeah, I think Wendy's been through New Mexico. Illinois is zone 5 for gardening. Cool. Yeah, and British Columbia's got many growing zones. We have like zone 0 to 9 here. That's how big British Columbia is. So big, Texas fits in it 2.5 times. So it's a big place. So there's lots of mountains, there's lots of valleys, there's lots of high elevation, there's areas near the ocean, there's areas not near the ocean, there's desert areas, there's rainforest areas, right? So it starts from 0 and it goes to 9A. So if you go over to Tofino, where you see all the giant cordylines growing all over the place that never freeze, it's 9A. Over there, Ucluelet, Port Renfrew, all the way up the west coast of Vancouver, the Big Island, right? At 1 mile, the oxygen deficit is noticeable over 2 miles to 1,000. Is that right? Hey, that's interesting. So 1 mile. Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. Actually, Denver, Colorado's up there high too. Albuquerque is 5,312 feet elevation. There are huge washies there. Plus, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing that there's Palm Planet, that there's trackies and other palms at that? You know what it is? It's the dry weather. It makes them hardier. There's no doubt about it, man. There's no way you're going to grow huge washies here. There's no way unless you protect them. That would make sense, Dustin, because bamboo from my family's property is not spreading very much. It was just in a couple. Yeah. So they don't probably not much into the sandy soil. But if there's loam in that soil, they will spread. The highest village on Earth is Andes on Everest, not Everest foothills. Oh, it's in the Andes. Interesting, Daniel. See, we're learning here from you guys. Albuquerque is more than a mile up. Is it? Well, how about Denver? Denver's Mile High City too, right? Hey, Palmy pal. Good to see you in there. But very dry and sheltered by mountains. That makes a difference. Dry makes a difference. Look at Lugano, Switzerland and Locarno, Switzerland, okay? Lugano and Locarno, Switzerland are the palm meccas at 46 degrees north latitude in Europe, okay? And they grow date palms and they grow Washingtonias and Brachias and Jubaeas and Camarops and Trachys. You name it, they grow it there. Dry winters, wet summers. Yeah, up along the Rio Grande Basin, New Mexico, but they can get real hot. That's very interesting, palm tree dude. Denver is exactly 1 mile. 1 mile. How cold was the lowest temperature in Tofino, December 2021? December 2021, the lowest temperature I recorded on our property was 17, so it was minus 8 degrees Celsius. I'm going to tell you in Celsius. On our lower Stevenson screen, it was minus 8 degrees Celsius. In the upper Stevenson screen, 200 feet away up on a hill, a knoll, it was minus 6.6 degrees Celsius. So minus 6.6 is 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I heard Tofino never dropped anywhere below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't know what they were. Somebody said they got down to like 24 or something, 23, 24. No, see, how have you been? We have been good here. All is good on the Gulf Islands. And hopefully one day, I don't know, sooner than later, I will be live streaming from another place if our plan goes through. Sable Miner are the Denver and Protect. You got to minus 15 there. Yeah, I've heard the Sable Miner up there. That's insane. Palm trees in Denver. That is so cool. How do they look? Do they look good? LA is in Andes is 3 miles high. 15,000, half the height of Everest. No village is higher. Wow. That is unreal. 15,000 feet. Imagine their lungs up there, different than ours. Still planting. No, we can't. Can't go to Costa Rica because they brought in the mandates and we couldn't leave the country. That messed us up big time. So we can't. There's no open hell. That's done. That fell through. So now we're looking at Vancouver Island. But they look great. I'd like to. Do you have a video of those or not? Palm Planet. Do you have a video of those palms? I'd love to see those. You know what? I can probably Google images. Yeah, no, if we move, it'll probably be Vancouver. Are you still planning on selling? No, not right now. I don't think I will. If I move, I know you like those palm books. You have no idea. You know what? I should show you. I don't know if you can see my library of palmy books. Lots of palmy books. Lots of palmy books there. But no, if we move to Vancouver Island, I will need those palmy books because I will still be growing lots of palm trees. Matter of fact, I will be bringing lots of palm trees with me and make a very, like, the ideal place to buy for us would be like no landscape, zero landscape, and then we can just start from scratch. It's kind of like an artist that gets a bare canvas, a blank piece of canvas, and starts from scratch. You know, because if there's some another landscape there and I don't like it, I'm going to have to remove a bunch of stuff. It's harder work. Even popular cities. But if I ever move to a tropical place, then I would sell it. You're top of the list, Palm Planet. If I ever sell these books, Palm Planet has got first dibs on the books. And I have some amazing books here. You know, one of my favorites has been this one, and I probably showed you before, Palms and Cycads of the World. That's a good one. And another really good one is, this is a good one. A guy brought this back for me from Florida. Betrick's Guide to Landscape Palms right there. Guy from Florida. He has a place here on Salt Spring Island. So he comes up here and he brings me this book years ago. And then another one that you'd really like is this one right here. That's a good one too. Palms of the World. That's a really good book. See, you like that one. And then there's some small, I got eucalyptus books too, right? I got books on citrus. This is a good one too. This one right here, Palms in Color. That's a really nice book. Look at the Lacola palms on the front. Aren't those awesome? Those are such cool plants. Used to have one of those. You know that? Back in the day, long time ago. So anyway, you're top of the list, Palm Planet. Anybody asked for those books? No, sorry, Palm Planet's got dibs on them. Tropical Plant Party has his palm shipped to a greenhouse every winter. Really? Tropical Plant Party. Never heard of them. Yeah, that's the reason I'm being so cautious what I plan marriage, and we have been very. Oh yeah, Dustin, where were you again? What was your? I was going to say 1020. That's how I talk in the radio. With QTH means location. What is your location? I don't have any of those. Really? I got more. This one here. Excuse me. Look at that. Tropical gardening. That's a really cool one too. These are really beautiful books, though. And they got really good information in them on all types of tropical plants. You can see some heliconias in there. And what else here? Oh, here's another one too. Look at this one. How about that one? Hardy Palms and Palm-like Plants. That's a pretty cool book there, right? What do you think of that? Livistona roundifolia. Anyway, and then there is, I got books on eucalyptus trees too, lots of them. Roundifolia. That's a cool palm, right? Livistone, Australia is supposed to be pretty. Brian C. Cole. The Sagos here and got zapped, but they'll come back. They're going to come back because you get that heat down there. Definitely. We have some sago palms in our garden. Will you be around in late March? I'm thinking of booking. I think so. Well, you know what? So this is what the real estate lady said right now. There's not a lot of people who look at houses in the wintertime. Salt Spring Island's still a hot market. It's kind of like the Whistler of British Columbia. It's a sought off destination in Canada to come to for tourists, right? Salt Spring Island, it's this world-renowned place in Canada. So yeah, I think we're still going to be here in the springtime. I don't think it's going to sell that fast, and I don't think we're even going to put it if we decide to put it for sale. Nothing's 100%. It would be in the spring. So yes, we're going to be here in the spring. if you want, if you want to book a trip to Salt Spring, and if you want, we do have accommodations here. If you decide to book through us, because there are lots of B&Bs on Salt Spring, there's like 300 of them probably. Wendy, you just book directly through Wendy. You message her, and she will give you a deal. You say you're a friend of mine. That's what you say. You say you're a friend of mine. I don't have to say, because we've had lots of people from Seattle stay here. The last guy that was here was what's his name? Brian? Vibonito Tropics in Tacoma. And like I say, I sent him home with a bunch of our seedlings, and he did make it home. He made it home to Tacoma with our palm seedlings. I'll keep you posted to see how long it stays green. I would stay. Yeah. So anyway, piece of me. Here's Wendy's B&B. Okay. Her personal email. Magnolia. This is what people contact her to book. Magnolia Petal SSI at gmail.com. So, and Wendy, just say, Wendy, I'm friend of Joe's. I'm in Seattle. All right. So, and because if you go through booking.com, you're going to pay way more. They take a big chunk off. You're going to pay less if you go through her. Yeah. You'd like it here. It's actually really nice. And then I can show you around the garden and stuff like that. And there's we're walking distance to the beach too. The beach is super cool. The beach is a white crushed shell beach. If you look hard enough, sometimes you find arrowheads down there. But the banks, the rocky banks, are just covered in stone crop, like millions of stone crop growing on the beach, right? On the rocks. Well, I have to be going. Thank you so much, Dustin. Not thank me. Thank you for joining in, Dustin. And join in anytime, okay? Always a pleasure to have you in there, buddy. And may your garden flourish. You're a smart guy getting a place when you're that young. That's very smart. When BAM went to 11 years ago to staying above 10 Fahrenheit, places began selling cold. No way. But Jan 14, no way. Really? When Birmingham went 11 years, 2000, staying above 10 Fahrenheit. But Jan 14 ended that. Why is that? Is it just because it got too cold? Jan 14th. Really? Jan 14th. So how cold did you guys get, did you say? Birmingham. Birmingham's way down there. I talked to Alabama a lot. I talked to a guy in, I think he is in Birmingham. I talked to a guy lots on my two-way radio. And then I talked to another guy, 72 Alabama. 72 Alabama. His number is. And I talked to him a lot. Old, nice guy in Alabama. I was talking to him yesterday. It's on my live stream video gate. We have something like stone crop here. Yeah. Okay. So palm tree dude, we have Sedum spathifolium, and we have another sedum that grows here too. And I'm not too sure the name. It's another succulent. Yes. Brian C. Cole. So it was, wow, pretty cold. Amazing that Birmingham gets that cold. I'm surprised. Dave says the cold never bothers him anyway. No, Dave is a hardy Canadian. I don't like cold. I'd rather be in Birmingham, Alabama. 7 Fahrenheit minus. Wow, that is crazy cold for Birmingham. So what did the rest of the comments say? Did they realize? Oh, yeah, no, they're just like, this guy's a joke, man. You can go, if you're on Facebook, the name of the group, I'll tell you what, I'll post a link here for you. And you can join the group. I started the group quite a few years ago, and it's like, man, it's getting up close to 20,000 members worldwide now. It's got a lot of members. So let me find the group for you. There it is. People who love palm trees and exotic plants. Okay, come on. There it is. I'm going to give you the there's the link right there. There's the link to one of my Facebook groups, and I have lots of Facebook gardening groups, but that's one of them. And you can see it in there, and you can read all the comments. And I don't go on there all the time. Kiss the baby. We were 9 Fahrenheit 2 nights. Wow. Before Christmas. Yeah, we got down just below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's still cold, right? Hi, I just came back from Japan. Jane. In Japan, there are lots of cool plants. I haven't seen Jane for a long time. I've been talking to Hawaii regularly on my radio. I talked to Maui yesterday, but not your area. There's lots of sago palms in Japan, lots of ginkgo trees. Depends what island you went to in Japan. Did you go to Honshu? Did you go to Tokyo? The island of Honshu? ComEd sucks. ComEd. Comment. We were 9 Fahrenheit. Brian saying that's down cold. I'll join the post my video. I'll join and post my video there. Oh, there he is. Hey, JL's back. Washington Robusta does well in Osaka. Yeah, I think there's lots of palm trees in Japan and waggies too, right? Lots of waggies, and you know what? They can grow phoenix there too. They can certainly grow Phoenix canariensis in Osaka. If they can grow Washingtonia, they can grow some of the phoenix there too. That's pretty awesome. Japan is pretty mild unless you get up to Hokkaido, but you know most places in Honshu are mild. Were you the one who posted the Robustas, Osaka? Oh, did you post some there, Jane? Hey, Jane, if you got any photos, post them in People Who Love Palm Trees, Jane. Happy New Year, Jesse. Jane, you know where to go. There's the link right there. Feel free to post pictures in there. Japanese maples are cool. Wendy loves Japanese maples. She's got lots of Japanese maples. I did see Pindo and CIT. So how far is Osaka from Tokyo? I'm curious. Is it close to Tokyo? Is it far from Tokyo? Is it south of Tokyo? I should know. What is the distance in kilometers or miles? I am the Palm King of Nova Scotia. You sure are. Japanese, you are the Palm King, a legend. Japanese maples grow here. Yeah. Wendy loves them. They're okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I can leave them. I'll tell you the only thing I don't like about Japanese maples, they're deciduous. And I'm not much into deciduous plants unless it's albizia, fig, crepe myrtle, persimmon. I like peach trees. I like almond trees. And what else do I like that's deciduous? There's another one. It's on the tip of my tongue. It'll come to me. Just south of Tokyo. Okay. Yeah, I know Tokyo never really gets super cold in the wintertime. But what the heck's the other one? Apricots. Apricots are deciduous too, but almond trees I like, and they're deciduous. The reason I don't like deciduous trees very much, crepe myrtles are nice too, it's just they look dead in the wintertime. Disputes here. Deciduous? Mike? They grow. Yeah, so crepe myrtles are not common here. There are some people that grow them. There's some growing in front of our hospital. They've been there for years. There are big palm trees growing in front of our hospital and figs, but huge palm trees. Palm trees have been there for 39 years now, planted in 1984, male and a female. What other style of palm could I grow other than typical in North Delta? Trachycarpus wagnerianus. Try Trachycarpus wagnerianus. Oh, hey, I got a video for you. I just shot it on Wendy's YouTube channel this morning, and I'll send you the link, okay? And you can see what they look like. I was down walking around with her iPad this morning, and I had to go shoot her a video. So turn that off. Let's see. I'm going to send you a link here. Going to send you a link, and you can check out her YouTube channel. So let's see here. There we go. Hang on. Live streaming. Okay, so Jesse, here is a link for a video on Wendy's YouTube channel that I shot this morning on Trachycarpus wagnerianus and hybrids too. You can't grow palms in North Delta. There's some big palms in North Delta. Azaleas are evergreen. Yes, there are some nice evergreen azaleas. The Belgian indica are beautiful, and there's some nice ones in Hawaii. I've seen them. Sadly, our forests here are 99% deciduous. But you know what, Palm Planet? You have good fall color. The place called Paradise Palm sells Chilean wine palms here. Paradise Palms? So how will they serve? No, you got to protect them there, man. Bad winter's going to take them out on the mainland. Hey, they took them out here. They'll take them out there. So it's colder there in the winter. If it takes them out here, it's going to take them out there. But you can protect them. I have an apple tree in my backyard. Should I plant a blue spruce because it was evergreen? Well, if you want a blue spruce, you can. No, I mean, apples are good too. The apples you can eat. It produces fruit. Apple tree's a good thing. We have apple trees. Can you grow camphor tree? Yes, people do grow camphor trees in Victoria. We don't have one, but there was a a Chinese or Japanese gal that used to post pictures of her camphor trees all the time growing in Victoria. So yes, they grow here. Our big native evergreens are loblolly pine, American holly, and red cedar. Okay, we have western red cedar. We have holly is English holly is an invasive species. They're all through the forest here, and we have native pines, but on the top of the mountain we have shore pine, and so that's cool. So you do have some evergreens and some conifers. Indica azaleas are common hedge in Japan. Cool, crazy, Jane. That's wild. True, the falls and the summers are nice. Looks like rainforest. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I like that look, the rainforest look. Do you have any Chilean wine? I had one in our garden and it died. Got killed December 2021 freeze. It wasn't a very big one. I grew it from seed and it died, man. So no, I don't have any. And I'm not going to buy when they're too expensive. And we've yes, native pawpaw. Oh, that's another one I love. I love pawpaw trees. We have a small one in our garden. That's deciduous, but I love pawpaws. Camphor tree is related. Yes, it is. Yes, and it is evergreen. Do you know anyone with fuyu? Yes, my aunt's got one in her garden. It's huge. She planted it in 1980 in Vancouver, and I have the YouTube videos of it here. I was there in September and it had persimmons on it. Apple in Colorado and blue spruce grow here. Colorado blue spruce. Yeah, don't see a lot of blue spruces around here. They don't do well. So yeah, and peach. Peach are great too. I love peach trees because you can eat the peaches. Then we have some evergreen understory plants like some fern species. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. And some yuccas. Wow, you have native yuccas. They're literally everywhere. Here are forests. Tropical. Look, that is pretty neat, man. I like that. What's the best cactus I could grow in? There's some really hardy opunches like Humifusa, Engelmannii, I think it is, Opuntia fragilis. You know what? Google hardy cactus, cold tolerant cactus. So it doesn't matter how cold hardy it is. Drainage is really everything. You have to have good drainage. And if you have a overhang of your house facing southwest or west or south, you can use that to your advantage and create a great cactus garden under your overhang. I had a friend in White Rock many years ago, decades ago, that had amazing huge Opuntia cactus growing in his garden under his overhang. Dave went herring fishing when he was on your island. Did he go fishing? He saw a herring. He saw a heron, the bird. Is that orange tree on Sully still? Yes, it is. Yes, because I talked to him. He says it's still going. Oh, and I told you I went by the olive farm today and it looks spectacular. Wendy and I drove by the olive trees, the olive farm, and it's a field of silver. The slopes are just these silver trees, and then there's big ones in front of the olive oils processing plant. There's 3 nice olive trees in front of they have a processing plant there for oil, right? But the 3,000 trees there look absolutely flawless. East especially. Oh, I can get that jungle look in summer. Yes, you can. Nice part of the east, especially south of Philadelphia. You've ever seen a Cedrus libani around? I don't know that one. Cedrus, we have Cedrus deodora. I don't know libani. Don't know that one, libani. I just got a huge book called Cacti of the United States. Oh, cool. Cacti of the United States. See, that would be a good book. I do have Desert Garden. Where is it? I think I have one, Desert Scape. Now, where? Oh, there it is right here. It's the dry garden. Sorry. This is the dry garden. So it's all plants that can handle drought. And I think there's cactus in here and everything, right? So what you're looking at on the front is a plant we grow here called cistus, native to the Mediterranean. This is a very common plant. Try it in your garden. It's evergreen. Cistus is absolutely amazing, and it comes in different colors. So the dry garden, yeah, there's going to be cactus in here. All sorts of really cool plants and some hardy stuff too, right? Put that back in the book collection. My cactus is in a huge box. Okay. Lytton, BC, prettiest. Lytton gets hot. Hot. That's the hot spot of Canada in the summer. I'm growing dragon fruit as an annual this summer. Dragon fruit is cool. Love it. Love the fruit. It won't grow outside here. In the summertime, it would. I'm obsessed with saguaro. I know it's unheard of, but they're hardy to 14. Yeah, I heard they're hardy to -10, but I think it would just the moisture in there would probably rot it. Cedrus is around the Salish Sea region. Really? Oh, is that Rocky Mountain cedar, juniper? Is that not the Rocky Mountain? We have Rocky Mountain junipers here. They're huge ones on Salt Spring Island. Do you know what a Rocky Mountain juniper is? There are several species of tree cacti native South Florida. Wow, 30 feet tall palm plant. That's cool. Possible to shelter. Yeah, I mean, you could try it. It's possible to grow anything if you want to. See them here down here. Lebanese cedar. Lebanese cedar. I think those grow here on our coast. Lebanese cedar. I think they're quite hardy. It's like the blue Atlas cedar too. Has lit and rebuilt. I don't know if they have. I'd have to ask Dave. I have Prince George palm in my estate. I have a Prince George palm in my estate. Well, good for you. That's awesome. Cedrus libanese, cedar of Lebanon. Yeah, nice tree. Cool looking conifer. South Florida has some weird but cool native. Yeah, I've only been as far south in Florida as Miami. They're dangerous. Look, almost identical to Atlas and Cedrus deodora. So there's lots of deodora cedar. We have a big one on our property. I planted it when I moved here, and it's probably, I don't know, 50 feet tall now. It looks good. It actually got ivy growing up the trunk of it. I got to chop some of the ivy off. But there's two big Cedrus deodoras growing in Centennial Park downtown. Beautiful. And then there's a blue Atlas cedar as well. Big. They're planted in late 1960s. Huge trees. Do you know of any palms in Okanagan? No, I don't think so. I have a friend in Soyuz that wants to try some sable minor from Warren City, Arkansas. So he says, Joe, save me some. Well, if I move, the sable miners are going with me, and I will be digging out my needle palms, my tree fern, and I do have lots of Wagnerianus palms in 2-gallon pots. I'll be taking those with me, and I have dozens and dozens of Wagnerianus and liners, pure ones. I have the two in my building, two deodora cedar. They're beautiful trees, Himalayan Christmas trees. Here's a post about the sable miner in Denver. Okay, cool. Planted around 2002. That is nuts. 20 years ago, man. I've been to Orlando. That's northern Florida. That's where Disney World is. You gotta like that. Gotta like that. Florida would be a good place to be right now. I could just totally relate to it. You know what I mean? And it's not because of the winter. It's just because it's just a good state. I want to move to California. If I'm stuck in Canada my whole life, I'd like to live in Okanagan. Yes, California would be good. So desert. So go to a Soyuz. There's peach land. There's summer land. No, you could probably grow sable minor and needle palm. I'm not saying you can't. I don't know of palms growing there, but if you try sable minor or needle palm and you're right by the lake, say you're right by the lake in a Soyuz. Wendy's aunt lives right by the lake in Oliver, and I bet you in that area they could grow sable minor and needle palm up close against the building. So I'm not saying you can't. I would say you probably can't grow arborescent palms unless you're going to protect them. Trunk forming palms, right? Like Trachycarpus, but bush palms, you could probably get away with it there. Like sable minor, dwarf palmetto, and needle palm. Naples, Florida averages winter lows about 10 warmer than San Diego, but San Diego's half already. Isn't that amazing? San Diego. Love San Diego, man. Love Westminster, Chula Vista, California, all down there. The needle and S minor grow every year there without any heat or covering, no cold frame effect. The needle and sable minor grow every year there without any heat or covering. Really? In whereabouts is that? I mean, those are the ones I would try if I was in the Okanagan of British Columbia. I would only try sable minor and needle palm. What's the difference between sable minor and Trachycarpus? Oh, big difference. Big difference. Trachycarpus is a arborescent palm. It forms a trunk. And like I'm talking about a tall trunk. It's a tree size, arborescent tree size. Sable minor is a dwarf palmetto. Some of them form a small trunk, but most of the trunks on a sable minor are subterranean. So it's a dwarf palmetto. So it's basically trunkless, but with nice big fronds. But with great age, I have seen them with stubby, fat trunks, short trunks. Needle palms are very slow growing, but in the Okanagan, they get lots of 100-degree Fahrenheit days. So it would be good for it in the Okanagan. So in the Okanagan, sable minor and needle palm would put on more sufficient growth in the summertime and get them ready for the cold winter. And, you could easily protect them in the winter by throwing some Christmas lights. Get some mini lights, throw them around them. They don't have to be LED lights. Just throw some lights in there and plug them in. If you have them up against the house, you can put some plastic over them. Like make sure the plastic's not touching the fronds. You can make a little frame, 2x2s or whatever, put some mini lights in there, you're good to go. Joshua tree, I would maybe try Joshua tree, Yucca brevifolia. Why not? I don't know if it'd be super cold hardy there, but they are certainly hardy. Needle palm grows in Western Canada without any. Yeah, it does. We grow them here. We have lots of needle palms in our garden. We have 7 needle palms in our garden. They're looking really good. What about growing Joshua tree? Yeah, I've tried it here. I've grown them from seed. Check out all the Coconut Street View. Oh, Orlando coconut palms. You got to like that. Wonder if they got zapped by the cold. About, I think Trachycarpus grow about half of the U.S. Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah, they only grow here in Canada, unless you live in Nova Scotia. I saw those in Palm Talk. Would that a dream of a swirl be possible in a soyuz? It's the cold hardiness too, though. So it's hardy to about minus 10 degrees Celsius. If you get colder than minus 10 degrees Celsius, it might just turn to mush. Orlando and the Daytona coconut survived. Yeah, did they survive the Christmas cold? I want to know that. How are they doing down there? Because northern Florida did get cold. What if I protect it in the winter? Yeah, you know what? If you're willing to protect it, and you know what, Jesse, saguaro are so freaking slow growing, you could protect it, right? Or and leave it outside in the summer. Yes, you could do that. You know, it's like trying to grow a Washingtonia robusta in a climate where it's not meant to be. So if you're trying to grow Washingtonia robusta, let's just say like Tom Kelly did in St. Louis, Missouri, these things are going to grow like 2-3 feet a year in the trunk or whatever, and they're going to be these massive palms in no time. How are you going to protect a 30-foot tall palm tree? That's what I don't get. Do you have the money and time and the capability to protect a 30-foot tall Washingtonia palm tree? Because at one point, at some time, it's going to get out of hand. And so that's why I wouldn't fuss around with Washingtonia in cold climates, because it's going to be impossible to protect them. After a while, they're just going to be way too big, way too big. I think you can cut most of the fronds off them, which is okay, and they're going to replace them in, if you're in an area, Toronto or whatever. But what happens when that palm reaches, 3 meters high, 4 meters high, 5 meters high? Then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to protect, and eventually you're going to have to let Old Man Winter claim it, and that sucks when you have a 20-foot tall, beautiful Washingtonia that you've babied for years, and then a bad winter is going to have to just take it out for you because you can't afford to heat it or protect it anymore, or it's just too big to protect. Do you know of any cactus that's similar to saguaro, but fishhook barrel cactus? It's not a saguaro. Look up fishhook barrel cactus, okay? Because they've grown here on Salt Spring. I was in a garden years ago, and there was a Washingtonia. It might have been a filibuster. It was growing in the garden for years, never protected. And up against the house, I looked, and I have photos of them in my photo album somewhere. They had these big barrel cactus, and I looked it up, and they were fishhook barrel cactus. Even Jack stayed in the mid-20s. Wow. Amazing. Cold for down there, Florida. That is happening to my king palm now, actually scaring me. Yeah, because they do grow fast, right? Deforestation sucks and wildfires in California because of... Yeah, that's the thing, too. California gets a lot of wildfires, Tom. Prior to 2010, coconut palms grew over much of Tampa. Killed many of them. It did. It froze them, 2010. See, our last really bad freeze was December 2008. The last really nasty freeze in the deep south, Georgia and those places down there, was January 1985. I remember that one. That one took out a lot of palm trees. Do you feel seasonal? It sucks because usually I go to Maui for a month. Usually Wendy and I go to Maui for a month every year. I'm not working for the Parks Department, so my wage has been cut in half. Now we're house sitting for 2 different people. We're property managing, so I'm kind of tied down here for the winter, and it really sucks because I love going away in the winter to a tropical place. And with the guy running our country right now, he's made it very difficult for people like me to leave the country. Seriously, it really sucked. For a few years, I couldn't leave the country, So hopefully things will cool down a little bit next year, and then maybe we can leave the country again and go. I'd like to go to Hawaii again more than anything. I love Maui. Want to see palm trees? Go to Maui. King Justin the First. Oh God, I hate that man. I just absolutely despise him. I can't even listen to him or look at him. I can't stand him. But anyway, yeah, -6 Fahrenheit, -20. Whoa, that is cold. Holy diner. That is so cold. Wow. I got the, actually, I'll tell you how cold it got here. I know how cold it got at my last place. I know how cold it got at my last place. It was it was November 1985. I worked out in, and it was down around single digit Fahrenheit. It was really cold, minus 14.8 or something like that Celsius. It was absolutely just stupid. So why in our finding climate normals? Hang on, climate normals of BC. Climate normals Canada. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to try to get into this website here. See if I can. That is really cold, minus 6 Fahrenheit. Holy diner. That would fry a few things. Sable miners would have survived. I'm sure that would have defoliated or killed a lot of sable palmetto, because there are probably palmettos in Birmingham. If there was any Washingtonias and date palms or toast, looked up fishhook barrel. They are pretty. No cactus that grows arms like saguaro, though. Yeah, I know that's the thing. But they're more hardy than a saguaro. And I know. Try cholla cactus. Try this one. Cholla, or you gotta look at my cactus videos on here, dude. I got some good cactus videos on here you might like. Just go to this page and look up cactus. But Barry hasn't fallen below 5 Fahrenheit. Okay, so that's the record low on our island. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what it was here. I'm looking at the tables here. Okay, so where are we here? Hang on. I got to find a station here. That is Salmon Arm. I don't want Salmon Arm. Back to station list. Okay. Hang on here. Search by province or territory. I'm just going to tell you what it was here. British Columbia. I'm on a government site right now. I'm on a government page just looking at climate normals. So minus 15 degrees Celsius. Looks like the date palms at the Street View are all small ones in backgrounds. Needle palms survive minus 20. Yeah, and they survive. I've got pictures of needle palms that survive minus 29 degrees Celsius in one part of Alabama. I actually have the weather records for Alabama, every state, or I have the extreme minimums for every state. Fallen below. Looks like all the date palms, needle palms survive minus 20 in Tulsa. That's amazing, man. 1985. That is crazy. I love needle palms. Needle palms are freaking awesome. Okay, so let's see here. 26, 22. I will tell you. Oh, okay. I'm going to tell you how cold it was here at this end of the island in 1985. Where is it? 1985. There should be a printout. Okay. November 27th, 1985. You ready for this? November 27th, 1985. Minus 10 degrees Celsius. It was minus 10 degrees Celsius here on November 27th, 1985. That's the coldest it's ever been in November here. Minus 10 degrees Celsius is around 14, 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Has an interesting climate. Sometimes it can be 70 in midwinter and other times. I know it's crazy. That is really hard on plants. Really hard on plants. What has been your best performing palm this year? Trachycarpus, no doubt. They're everywhere. Trachycarpus hybrids, Trachycarpus wagnerianus, Trachycarpus fortunae. Camarops look great. Man, I was looking around the garden today. Needle palms look absolutely beautiful. The sable miners, good. Chamaedorea radicalis looks okay. But I'd say, the Trachycarpus palms are the best ones here. Definitely Trachycarpus palms. Fortunae, waggies, and hybrids. They're the best ones here. Kings of the frost beaters. My dad was in Tulsa a few winters ago and kept 72. Wow. That is amazing. I talk there a lot on my radio. I have a friend that lives in Alabama. Bam or Tampa. I was in Tampa Bay back in Bam since then. Tampa Bay, but back in Bam since then. I'd like to be in Alabama too. I think Alabama's a cool state. Leonard Skinner's from Alabama. Do you know that? I think they are. Remember Leonard Skinner? Good music. Sweet Home Alabama. Then Kid Rock redid it. But yeah, I'd love to see Alabama. There's a lot of states I'd like to see. I really like. I've only been like briefly in Texas at the airport, Fort Worth, Dallas. Been to Miami, Florida. Been to Washington. Been to Washington many times. Washington State, Oregon many times. California. I've been to Alaska 3 times. Alaska, I really love too. I love it up there. It's beautiful. If I had to live anywhere up north in the States, I think I would live in the Panhandle of Alaska. I'm in Norman, Oklahoma. Been upper 60s last few days. See, it gets warm. There was 3 Fahrenheit. Okay, well, not too bad. Yeah, you guys get the heat down there too. That's pretty awesome. -10 is 14. Thanks, Brian. So it was -10 here in November 27th, 1985. That's at the St. Mary Lake Weather Station just down the road from here. It'd be cool if Canada had an AMRA. I know. We do have the trains here. We have the SkyTrain in Vancouver, and they have them in Seattle or in Toronto too. But yeah, there's the Amtrak things all over. Like not the Amtrak, but SkyTrain in Vancouver takes you all over the place. It's like a fast train up above the city. Just looked it up, and it says Josh, we can go as low as Zone 6. Wow, then it should work. That Kid Rock song was also copying. Exactly. That was Warren Zevon. That's right, Daniel. That was the late Warren Zevon, Werewolves of London, which was a good song. Leonard Skinner and Jackson. Oh, are they from Florida? Oh, okay. Right. They're not from Alabama, but they sung Sweet Home Alabama. Leonard Skinner was their gym teacher. I'm from North Texas. It feels like spring. Right on. And Tree Man Gardner, I was saying my oldest son used to live in Weslaco, Texas. If you know where Weslaco is, he lived there and he married a girl from Texas and Hawaii. Hawaii is an awesome place too. Hawaii is my favorite place. Too much rain in North Delta for Joshua Tree. They like it dry. The Empire Quarter Maple Leaf train crosses into Niagara Falls. Oh, cool. Right on. I've been on the SkyTrain in Vancouver a few times from the airport. It goes up to the airport. And I remember the very first time I went to Maui in 2012 to visit Wendy. So Wendy was already on Maui. And what I did, I parked my vehicle at the ferry here on Salt Spring at the terminal. I walked on as a foot passenger on the ferry, took the 3-hour ferry ride across to Tsawwassen, which is south of Vancouver. Then I hopped on a bus. That took me to the SkyTrain. Then I hopped on the SkyTrain, and then that took me to the airport. It was like a wild goose. It was like a milk run. But I eventually got to the airport, and that was the first time I'd ever gone to Maui. I went by myself. Like I say, Wendy was already there for a week. And then I met her there, and I stayed for a week. And then she stayed for another week after. Canada has ViaTrack, which is essentially Canadian Amtrak. Okay, cool. You know more than me. I've never been on a train. Just the SkyTrain, but it's not really a train. It's kind of this fast track thing. But January, yeah. So we have a big cactus patch here, Jesse. You'd have to see it. I used to grow cactus when I lived in Langley. Had it up against my house in a sandy raised bed under the overhang, kind of. February, most boring months of the year. They are. Even here too. The thing is, some of you guys would probably go crazy living on this island because, like I say, there's not a ton to do here in the wintertime. Summertime, people hike here. People do outdoorsy things here. But the wintertime, there's more rain. This year, not so much. But, there's not really a ton of stores and stuff to go through. Washington Zone 811. But no. That has to be dry. It will never work. Trust me. I've tried many of them. They're absolutely the biggest waste of time palm you can ever try in the coast of BC. The winters here are so wet and so cool, the things will get botrytis, and that'll end up killing them before cold does. Dies even on. Oh, yeah. No, I've seen them live. Well, I've seen one. The longest I've ever seen a Washingtonia live here outside without protection is about 8 years. And the new people ended up cutting the thing down. And I actually had it featured in Hardy Palm International twice. Twice I had it featured in Hardy Palm International. And it was either a filibusta. I don't think it was filifera. It kind of looked more filifera, but I'm thinking it was a filibusta. You got to move to Nova Scotia. You got to move to Scotia. If you want to grow Washingtonia palms, JL, the palm guy in Nova Scotia, will give you all the dirt you need to know. He is the expert on Nova Scotia palm trees. I love summer. I mess around in the yard. I know it's nice. Summer is good. And I like spring too. I really like the springs here. But, it'll be sad if there comes a time, if we do indeed sell this place. When I walk through these gardens here, they're very well established, right? And I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss all the big palm trees, all the exotic plants, all the thousands of palms I got growing in the ravine. I have to start all over again. What is won't handle the damp winters? No, Washingtonia robusta can handle damp winters, but they don't like the cold. That's the thing. So Washingtonia robusta grows in Brookings, Oregon, and Gold Beach, and they get about 80 inches of rain annually, and they are big ones there, big ones. I heard most robusta grown from nurseries are actually filibusta. Oh, interesting. Okay, Brad, very interesting. So they're hybrids. Flifera and a robusta. The fronds are different, and a thicker trunk on a flifera. Flifera is bigger, thicker trunk too. And the fronds, there's more cotton fibers, I think, on the fronds. I like spring as well. Yeah, I do love spring, man. I'm looking forward to it. The long range forecast, I got to look at the long range forecast here. Let's look at the long range forecast. 7-day Gulf Islands. I don't want to be seeing any snow in there. Let's see what we have here. No snow. Let's see. No, I don't see any cold weather in sight. I see highs of 9, 8, 10, 11, 8, 7. So highs in the 50s. I see lots of rain. Rain. I see sun tomorrow. Chance of showers. The rest of the week is just rain, and mild. And, lots of frogs are making noise now. There's hummingbirds all over the place. We have hummingbirds here year round, but that's not the point. The frogs are making lots of noise out there for the last, week or so. That's a good sign. Daffodils coming up. See, that's a good sign too. That's a sign of spring. I like that. Don the Clutch Man. Hey, Joe, it's been a while. I went to Leavenworth in Washington. Cool. Bavarian themed town. I've heard about that. There's a prison there too, I think. Leavenworth Prison, right? Yeah, I've heard about it. It's all Bavarian style. Right on. Which one of the is all over LA? Which one is the one that's all over LA? There's mostly probably Robusta all over LA. They're going to aging out and they are now aging out. So they're going to cut them down, Daniel? The Robusta. Yeah, so mostly the Sky Duster palms, Mexican fan palm. The birds have been super active. Yeah, lots of robins. I mean, there's robins here all the time, but I saw a bunch of them today pecking, worms in the ground. We're sitting at the restaurant on the south end. And starlings out there doing their thing. Lots of tree frogs croaking and flowers coming up here and there. So you know what? These are all good signs of spring. It doesn't mean we can't get a snowfall, but these are very good signs. I'm just praying that cold snap we had is it for winter. Can you imagine? Anyway, Dan the Clutch Man, good to have you in there again. It's been a while. And you know what? Wouldn't that be great if that was it? That was our cold snap, is 1 week. We had 4 days, not even a week. We had 4 days of cold weather. That's it. So I'm not going to complain. It was mild all the way up to that time. Boom. Alaska blaster comes down. Alaska opens her doors up, lets some cold air out, freezes our hiney off for 4 days, and then it's gone. Dumped us with snow, and then gone. Still no snow yet here. Wow. So you might not even get any snow. There's a viral video of a guy cutting the top off, and it goes. Oh, I know it. I see that one. I've actually shared that one before. That the tree goes like this, wing, wing, wing. I know. That's called karma, baby. Don't be cutting tops off palm trees. That was the only bad one. I saw a hummingbird battle today fighting over Mahoney. Oh, yeah, Mahoney. I should see if our Mahoney is blooming. We have the big ones. We have native ones. We have the big ones too. We had some freezing rain for about 5 minutes during the cold. That's nothing. Nothing. Palm tree dude, you've had it mild. What you miss most about the USA since not being allowed to go there? Everything. I miss, I can go to the USA, but I have to drive across the border. But I can't go to Hawaii because you have to fly to Hawaii. So I miss everything about Hawaii, and I like to fly because I can get there faster, right? To anywhere in the US, even California. I can drive to California, but Hawaii, I miss everything about it. The climate, the people, the plants. I love the flora, and of course the nice warm sand and the beaches, right? Just seem a bit more enthusiastic about life in Canadians than me. Aside, people are just seem to be a bit. Well, you know what? You need one of those lights like Wendy has. It's called that light deprivation thing. It's like a light that mimics the sun, and she's got it beside her desk, and it's really bright, and it makes you feel happier. They say in the wintertime. I hate how spring is warm one day. I know it can be inconsistent here too, Tom. You should drive down. Yeah, I know. Southern California. Last time I was in Southern California was 2008. We took the kids to Disneyland, but we flew down LAX. I tell people outside BC if Southwestern Coast doesn't snow because normally, usually it doesn't snow in days. It doesn't last long here. That certainly does not last long, Dan. That is for sure. We do have snowless winters here. This year we had about a foot of snow when it snowed. First we had, I think, about 10 inches, and then we got another 2 inches. So we had a foot of snow when it was all said and done, and then it turned to rain. Hawaii is the best state. There's no doubt about it. I love it. This is the life telling you to take California trip, a stop with a stop. Yes. Well, a road trip for sure. Absolutely. It would have to be next year though, or at the end of this year, because I'm so busy right now with my new job and everything. Good yellow grow lights, brighter depression lights for the money. Good yellow grow lights. Oh, cool. Those are okay. That's interesting, Daniel. Very interesting tip. I'm planning driving Virginia Beach sometime soon for a day trip, 3 hours. I'd go to Virginia Beach if I lived where you were too. Last year they extended the border vaccine mandate, but I do know people. Oh yeah, Biden, man, he's got to go. See, they've lifted it here, but Biden still got it, so I can't go anywhere. Couldn't you catch a flight to Hawaii from U.S.? I don't know how that works. I think no, because when you arrive in Hawaii, you have to quarantine. You have to show proof of vaccination, and I don't have that. I've had COVID. I had that stuff in June. Wendy and I caught it in early June from 2 people visiting from California. Can you believe that? Anyway, we got over it. Wendy's got bad asthma. She's on the puffers. She has trouble breathing, and she's 62, 63 now. She's turned 63. She got over it. Should kill her, right? And me, my immune system kicked the crap out of it. I got a good immune system. See all the vitamins I take tons of vitamins, and I work out lots, and I got a good immune system. So my immune system kicked the crap out of it. Wonder how James Palms got to fly to Canada. Well, he's jabbed. I think he's vaccinated. He'd have to be. He'd have to be fully vaccinated to go on holidays, right? And I'm not. So, and it's choice. It's freedom of choice, right? And I have nothing against anybody. My kids go traveling. They wanted to do it for traveling. You know what? Good for them. That's their thing. So I want to go to Hawaii eventually again. I've been to Hawaii a lot of times. You know that I've been to Hawaii 26. I've been to Hawaii 26 times. Okay, so, and I know I love Hawaii. I just love the Hawaiian Islands. How was for you? Mine was more. It was my 20s. I went to the air flu. You know what? It was like a bad flu, I would say. So I remember working that day at the pot farm down the road, and I was planting pot in rows. And then I started feeling just not right. You know, when you feel something coming on, kind of like the flu's coming on, started to feel kind of weak, kind of a little achy. So when I went home, I started getting just a tiny little bit of a headache. And then it really hit me the next day. Really bad chills, super killer body aches. And then I took some ivermectin, and it numbed that stuff. It got rid of, then I got a really sore throat. I got a really bad sore throat for 3 days where I could barely swallow. Sore throat from hell. Took some more ivermectin. That went away. So I'm going to say my COVID, it lasted about 5 days, probably about 5 days, and it was done. But I was going outside and doing stuff around our garden when I had it because I was so upset. I was so mad that I caught it from somebody that was vaccinated. And I was digging trenches stuff, but it wore me out. My energy was lacking. And I usually have tons of energy. So I'd have to go lay on the couch for nap for an hour and a half before I could go back out and do something again. So, and then I lost my taste buds for 2 weeks. Taste was gone for 2 weeks. I was there for 6 weeks, early December. I worked for my friend's YouTube channel. Worked. Oh no, made a website hoping to chat. Cool, that's awesome. Dan, right on. And you were in ER, but before the go, nowhere as bad as the flu. Interesting. So you had it mild, Jesse. I fly domestically a lot. In the US, no checking here with. That's awesome. My summer, I felt like crap. Worked, and I got the next day, and it was positive. Well, I'm going to tell you something interesting. So I had it in June. Wendy had it in June. We got over it. Okay, I'm totally fine. Totally 100% recovery, not a problem. So then my buddy got it. He came back. He's fully vaccinated, triple, quadruple vax. He came back from a cruise, and I phoned him up and I said, "How's your cruise?" He caught, this Chinese flu, I'm going to say, on the cruise. So anyway, but I was already planning a trip to his place. He's got big palm tree in his garden near Vancouver, south of Vancouver. He says, are you sure you still want to come out here and stay with us, Joe? I have the C word. I have the Chinese flu and I'm testing positive and I got it. So you might know him. The guy says, no, I'll come out. He says, oh, it's up to you. So I went in and stayed with my buddy. He has it, sick with the Chinese flu. We drove around looking at palm trees. We didn't get close to anybody, but he was in the truck with me in my truck, passenger. I stayed at his place. He's testing positive right in front of me with the C, and I never caught it. I never, ever caught it the second time. Zero, nothing. He says, well, you're probably going to get it. I never caught it, man. So my immune system worked really good. You have to show vac status for restaurant. No, we don't have to do that here. We did do that last year or the year before, whatever, but not, I think that was last year. My doctor is against the vaccine, wrote me a medical exemption. Oh, wow. Wow. We need your doctor. Where's your doctor? I'm going to have to start coming to your doctor. For over a year and a half, I think we did for a long time. Yeah, it was like a year they had to show that or something like that. Hate sciatic back. Oh, I've had sciatic back pain. I've had it. It's sciatic pain is the worst. I have a heart condition, but I'm a very fit hockey player, but I be at risk of myocarditis from back, especially as there's a lot of people. And I don't know, man, if you know what's going on out there, if you know what's going on, like I know what's going on, and you watch some of this stuff on Rebel News or whatever, it's like there's been a lot of sports and athletes kind of collapsing here and there. It's like, is there a relation? You got to question stuff, right? Good to question things. When I went to U.S. border, Peace Arch, July, Point Roberts, in October, the Peace Arch, both ways, never got asked. That's awesome. Dan the Clutch Man. I could probably go across there now. I had a COVID last week and New Year's, and I thought it was. Yeah, it is. It can be rough on some people. It just depends on the individual. Another basketball I did just today. Who was it, Jesse? Put his name here. I'll post that on my Facebook. I got a Facebook page. I post everything on there. I'm waiting to get kicked off soon. Oh, I posted a list of them. There's a football player that collapsed a week or so ago, too. Was his name Hallam or something like that? It's crazy. It is really crazy, man. Yeah. So anyway, I don't want it in me. I'm staying away from it. I'll stay away from it. But if anybody wants to get it, that's their choice. And I don't diss them for it. I don't have anything against them for it. My roommate got myocarditis. He's recovered now. Wow. He did, eh? The people, I'm just going to say, the people that own Beachside, their son actually got it, but how did he get it? Is he chapped? Anyway, he got it, and it wasn't good. Another basketball player, man. So anyway, they're still pushing that stuff up here in Canada. So I'm kind of done with Canada. I really am done with Canada. I don't even fly the Canadian flag out in front of our place anymore. I ripped that down. I got the American flag right there. There's a Canadian flag right there. There's an American flag right there, a Hawaiian flag, and then I have American Canadian there. But we don't have it flying in front of our B&B. Family history. So some people do have family histories of heart problems. Wendy's still coughing, but she's got asthma. Strange, no hockey players have collapsed, but all the other sports have apparently NFL got. Oh, that's interesting. So it must be, Wendy's cousin. Wendy's cousin is the goalie of the Philadelphia Flyers, right? You know that. Wendy's cousin's son, Carter Hart, is that's Wendy's second cousin, I guess would be, is the goalie for the Philadelphia Flyers, Carter Hart. Yeah, sheepy people think it's sudden, but this athlete's place in your body. Well, it's called, some people call it death by coincidence. It's like, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I just know that my immune system seems to work pretty good. And Wendy's does too, because according to Trudeau, people like her should be freaking dead, right? But it did kick the crap out of her. I'm not going to say it didn't. It did kick the crap out of her pretty bad for, quite a few days. She was like moaning in pain. She had a freaking migraine headache for probably 3 days. And was she coughing? It didn't affect her breathing or anything. She was coughing, body aches, chills. I don't think she got the sore throat. How about those historic native royal palms that were at St. John's River based north of hundreds of years ago? Really? In Orlando, hundreds of years ago? Really? No way. There are royal palms native to southern Florida, right? Roystonia. In south of Miami, I think somewhere in there. A teammate of Carter Hart's brother was also a player. No way. Does your wife know anything about that? I'll have to ask her. Anyway, Wendy just did a picture of Carter Hart. She just drew a picture of him. So that is Wendy's relative. Jimmy Hayes, his brother, is teammates with Carter. Wow. I didn't know. I've never heard about it. I don't really watch hockey, but and Wendy doesn't either. But I'll have to Google that. I take zinc. Take NAC too. The person who died is Jimmy Hayes. His brother Kevin Hayes is Carter's teammate. I'm going to write that down. Jimmy Hayes. Okay. I'll check that out. Take vitamin D. I take it. I got it right here. Vitamin D. Vitamin C. Vitamin C. Vitamin D. And you know another one good to take? Vitamin A. Vitamin A. Another good one to take. CoQ10. I take these every day. And then also you have to be active too. You have to exercise. You want a good immune system. There was a poll that people who's smarter. Oh, I posted that on my Facebook. You got to see my Facebook page. And I posted it on my Facebook. Yeah, I got a Facebook. I got a Banana Joe like page, and I put that on there. I put a lot of stuff on there. Trust me. Yeah, so I take all those vitamins. I've been looking into Canada and Germany. My ex-fiance lives in Winnipeg. I plan to move there, but we don't talk now. Oh, bummer, Brian. Looking into Canada and Germany. Canada. You want to move to Canada? No. If you move to Canada, you have to go to Alberta. Alberta's like Texas. That's the free province right there. Alberta is awesome. Just too cold for me in the wintertime. There's lots to do. Apparently, the economy in Alberta is booming because they want to kind of break away from Canada. I wish BC would. Official story is drug OD. But I thought it seemed kind of suspicious. He had wife and kids. No way. That's sad. That is sad. Drug OD. Oh, there's so many of that now. Drug overdoses. It's that fentanyl crap that's going around out there, eh? So many people die from that fentanyl. It's just like the worst stuff. I want to move to Yellowknife. Yellowknife. Up in the Northwest Territories? Really? It get real cold up there, Brad. You got to be one hardy guy to like that cold. That's too cold for me, brother. Yellowknife. I'm sure it's beautiful up there. Don't get me wrong. Never been there. 20 minutes. You do 20 minutes on the treadmill. Good for you. I get a lot of exercise at work, and I do a lot of hard work here too. But I do work out. I have my gym, so I don't like taking any drugs, even pills, when I'm sick. Yeah, you're smart, man. Good for you. It's rare that I ever get a headache, so I don't take things like Tylenol. I don't take aspirin. I don't take any of that stuff. I suffer with it, right? Yeah, fentanyl can kill you within minutes. If you it's that bad, isn't it? Even if you just touch it. No way. No palms growing Yellowknife. No, I'm sure there's somebody up there that might be trying, right, with covers on them. Yeah, no, fentanyl is like the deadliest thing. And, so many people have died from that over the last few years. I want to move to Greenland. Really? Tom, Greenland. Yellowknife is probably one of the few places you can zone push. Yeah, exactly. You could zone push a blue spruce. Plenty of videos of cops searching cars. OD. No way. That is crazy. You got to wear gloves. Got to wear those gloves. ABGL can go plant some. And yeah, maybe that'll be his next thing. He's probably got a brother that lives up there that grows them. Dan the Clutchman. Unfortunately, my parents are selling my Surrey condo. The mortgage fees, prices. I know it's crazy. Well, that's why we probably need to sell, because we still have a mortgage, right? We have a mortgage, and but it's not due for a few years. Okay, so we're still good. But the thing is, when it does come due, the mortgage rates are so freaking high. People have to sell stuff now. It is really, really sad. It really sucks. Like, I really don't want to sell this place. I really like this place because I like the garden. I don't care about the house. I think the house is kind of cool. It's like a custom built house. The builder built it, and I know the guy, but it's the gardens. We put so much work into the gardens, right? Surrey, BC is the home of UBC. No, it's not. Surrey, BC is south of Vancouver. It's a city south of Vancouver. UBC Endowment Lands is up in Vancouver, right? Have you ever go to Alaska? And you should go to Barrow. Yeah, I've never been to Barrow. I've been to Juneau, Ketchikan, Skagway, Hoona, Pindaisi Strait, And I've been to all of those places, right? It's absolutely beautiful up there. But no, Surrey, BC is a city south of Vancouver. It's probably 20 miles south of Vancouver, something like that. 25 miles. I've been to Fairbanks in the winter. I've never been to Fairbanks. I talked there a lot on my radio. You can see them on my video gates. Minus 30 Fahrenheit. Whew, that's too cold, Brad. That is too cold for me. Minus 30 Fahrenheit. Minus 3 is too cold for me. I like everything above 32 degrees Fahrenheit. I just don't like cold anymore. It's sad what's happened to Canada. It is sad. I went to Turkey last year, which isn't a first world country, but you see more homeless, addicts, crime 1 minute in Vancouver, New York. No way. That is crazy. I go to downtown East Side Vancouver. It is crazy. Yeah, there's more of them now because since that pandemic started, I find there's a lot more people that are down and out, more people that have suffered depression. Maybe these people have, it's way worse off for these guys. There's more people with mental problems that are suffering and drug addicts doing overdoses and dying. It's like I looked into houses abroad, but it's just not easy because legal. Trust me, we tried to go to Costa Rica and it wasn't easy, man. We went through the paperwork, everything, and then they brought in the mandates. We go, my GoPro really handle the cold. My GoPro, the battery just sucks on it, so I'm not even going to use it anymore. I uploaded a really short video on my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel this morning. I uploaded a super short video, or it was last night, of GoPro fisheye lens. Might have been this morning. I'm liberal, but you must question if saving lives, if you're ruining others. Yeah, I'll never ever vote. I've never voted for. I don't like Trudeau. I hate the guy. He should, in my opinion, the guy should be in prison for what he's done. The WE scandal. He's had an affair. He fooled around when he was a teacher, he fooled around with a teenage girl in his school. He hasn't been, he doesn't get in trouble for that. He paid them off. It's just the money this guy spent on the Rivecam app, 54 million or billion or whatever they spent on it. Where did the money go? It's unbelievable. So I've lost patriotism for Canada. And if I could move out, I would. I would move out of Canada. California, same, man. Yeah, I can't stand Trudeau. I just absolutely despise the guy. I think he's a tyrant, a dictator. I call him the dictator piece of garbage. If you saw my Facebook page, my like page, you'll see how much I hate Trudeau. I'm ready to get kicked off there again anytime. Royal palm, 19th century botany. The species was first described by American naturalist Central Florida, because I know there are royal palms in southern Florida. I don't feel any patriot. No, either do I, Jesse. I don't feel any patriotism at all. The Trudeau the Liberal government has totally ruined it for me. I was born and raised. Former Prime Minister was better. Anybody was better than the guy that's running now. The guy running it now is a dictator. You know what he said? He says he loves the way China does things in their basic dictatorship, the way they get things done. He says, I admire the way China does things with their dictatorship. This is what he said. I have the video to prove it. I've seen him say it. He likes the way things are run in China, communist China. It's scary, man. We got this guy running our country. You know the joke about him? Oh, yeah, he is Fidel Castro's son. There's no doubt about it. Actually, they were swingers. Yeah, they were. She was also in Cuba 9 months. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I remember in October, I saw two people one night, both from abroad, and one of them defended Trudeau because of a lot. Oh my God. Oh my God. I would lose my freaking mind if I was there. I don't like to say the word hate, but I absolutely hate that guy for what he's done. And he's called Canadians names too. He's caused the biggest division among Canadians than any other crime minister, I will call him, in Canada. He's caused a big division. There's a huge division now in Canada. And he called the truckers terrorists. Say, come on, I watched the thing. I know people that were at the trucker convoy. There was a guy from our island that was at the trucker convoy. Most peaceful thing. I watched it every day on YouTube. It was absolutely peaceful, man. Yeah, when I saw two people, that's crazy. I was there. Were you there too? Cool, man. Lucky you. I would have loved to shot a video there. China needs to help their factory workers get a better life. Yeah, I know it's terrible. The pollution there. They burn coal still, right? And there's no doubt that Jesse. There's no doubt that Justin is Castro's son. One good thing about Cuba, there's lots and lots of good things about Cuba, but Cuba, there's lots of cool palm trees in Cuba. There is another one there. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's really, really thick, and it gets thatch on it. Oh, not Copernicia. Cuban thatch palm. I'm trying to. I forget the Latin name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Divide and conquer. That's right. Need a revolution. That's what we need here. Just like Mexicans. Mexico has revolutions every so often. Try Thrynix radiata. That's the one. So Palm Planet. Thank you. It's got Florida thatch palm, and it's got these really nice big fan palms. That's the one, right? And it gets really lots of thatch on it. That is a really cool. That's a really cool palm. Thrynix radiata. I think that's it. Let me see. I'm pretty sure that's it. Florida thatch palm. I wonder if there's a picture in here. Hawaiian fan palm. Jubea chilensis. Gotta love Jubea chilensis. Some of you guys in colder climates should be trying Chamaedorea radicalis. Chamaedorea radicalis is awesome. Beautiful. Cuba is beautiful, Jesse. I like the old cars too. The old cars are freaking awesome. It's like you've gone back in time, right? Florida thatch palm. There's got to be you know what? There'll be a picture of it. Guadalupe palm. Let's just see. There's got to be a picture of it in here. Palms of Florida. Is that the Florida palms? No, that's landscape palms. How do you think it will do in Zone 7? Just got a good size Oh, you did get one. You got a Chamaedorea radicalis. Cool. There's a neat Puerto Rico native palm. I can't. Sable Cossierum. Is that Sable Cossierum, Daniel? Cuba is also beautiful. Puerto Rico native name palm. That's Sable Cossierum, I believe. Just because Trudeau and Biden constantly bring up tolerating immigrants. I can't stand them. They're complete a-holes. They only care about themselves. Well, Trudeau's a narcissist. That's the thing. Come on. I got to find this palm in here, Palm Planet. Sunshine palm. Cuban thatch or Trithrynix. Copernicia. There's Copernicia. There's a lot of palm trees in here. There it is. Oh, is that the one right there? No, that's Brazil. Thrynix. That's it. That's it right there. That's the one right there. See? Yeah, super cool palm. That I love. That is a beautiful palm. And Florida, that's right in the Caribbean region. Right. Totally beautiful. Oh, and you know what another palm I really like is Sereno repens. Oh, there's Sable Minor. Okay, so that's what a Sable Minor looks like for those of you that have not seen a Sable Minor. There's your dwarf Cocothrynix. Cocothrynix. That's it. Cocothrynix. I'm going to look it up. Cocothrynix. Cocothrynix. Thrynax. That's what I was thinking of. I think it's from Cuba, right? Florida to Bahamas. Cocothrynix. And there's several species of Cocothrynix. They're beautiful, man. They're an awesome palm tree. Look at that right there. Cocothrynix right there. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. Doesn't that look like a Trachycarpus palm? But it's a tropical palm. Isn't that beautiful? Right there. This is a really good book, by the way. Palms for the Landscape. That's it, Daniel. Thank you. There's also a tropical oak, Quercus. Brad Kenny says native to Cuba, but it won't grow here, will it? Tomorrow. Starting planting class tomorrow, 9:25 a.m. Central Time. Wow. Planting class. Cool, Tom. Good for you. There's small palms. Yes. Sable Minor are small palms. You've seen them in the Bahamas. I remember when I saw Sable Palm or Jubea chilensis in South Delta. I was so amazed. Cool. And there are sable, Yeah, you live in South Delta, don't you? No, you live in South Delta. Wendy graduated from North Delta Senior Secondary, but she also lived in Tawasin too. So she lived in North Delta, then she moved to Tawasin. Then she moved to Kerrisdale. Then she was in White Rock. Smaller than windmill palms. Yeah. Joe, how much protection does sea rat? I don't give it any where we are. I do not give it any here, but you know what? Zone 7, I don't know the zone they're actually rated to, but I have never protected ours here in 20. I planted in 1997, so 25, 26 years ago, and it's fine. So, I mean, it's really easy to protect Palm Planet, really easy to protect. Kick some leaves around it. They're tough as nails. They don't look like they're tough, but they're tough. That's what blows me away. Oh, I'm going to go after this live stream. I'm going to go out and check the, we have Camadoria Micro Spadex too. I think I actually did a video on it a little while ago. I graduated from the same high school as your wife, but many years later. Yes, that's right too. She was in 77. The PCs can do better than Polyev. The PCs can do better. I don't know. I like the way he tears a strip off Trudeau. Me and my family drove one day from Surrey to Tawasin. I showed my parents the streets. Right? Isn't that cool? All the palm trees in Tawasin. Lots in White Rock too. Art class truly is the best. Yeah, that's cool. You like art. Wendy is a big time artist. I was in 2013. You're just a baby. 2013. My oldest son graduated in 2009. My daughter 2012. My youngest son in 2018. Actually, I got a picture of my. Here's my youngest son with his prom date. Right there is Gal. Right there at that's 2018. That's Trevor. So he's 20. He's going to be 23, and that's Mira at Gulf Island Senior Secondary. So that's his gal right there. That was 2018, and man, it was just a nice hot day. Cool. 20. I graduate high school in 2024. God, you're just a kid, Palm Planet. My God, 2024. Oh, must be nice. Must be nice. I like that. I've been out of school since 1980. Long time, man. Long time. Greetings from Boise, Gem State. Stephen, good to see you in there, buddy. Gem State Tropics. And I know it's balmy and palmy over there. Apparently, needle palm survived in coastal Maine for it, really in the botanical garden. And there's one actually in Nova Scotia, too. I know that because I had a friend that lived there and he sent me a picture of it. Greetings to Stephen in Boise, Idaho. Now, even feel old. 2024. Now I'm graduating 2020. I graduated 2017, 23. You're still young, man. So you're same age basically as Dan. You're the same age as my kid, youngest kid, Trevor. He's going to be 23 in July. Yeah, a few years ago when I started my channel, I really wished I was older, but no, I'd rather be younger, man. I'd rather be a high schooler, buddy. Don't ever wish you're older, Palm Planet. Be very grateful that you are young. There's a mountain palm in Puerto Rico that might survive in California. Which one is that called? That's not Sable Cosierum, is it? The Puerto Rican hat palm? Dominengus or something. Dominengus. You know what it is. You know the one I can't even pronounce it. There's a Sable Dominengus or something. It's from Dominican Republic. I gotta look it up now. It's driving me crazy to pronounce it. Oh, that drives me crazy. Sable Dominensis. Let's go to Sables. RS Sable Dominensis. Sable Dominensis. Native to Dominican Republic. Haiti. Just a minute. Distribution: Haiti, Hispaniola. Oh, Eastern Cuba. Which one's native to Dominican Republic? Is it Sable Cosierum? Where is it? Puerto Rican hat palm. That is Sable Cosierum. There was one I thought native to Dominican Republic. So where is it? There's a lot of different sable palms. I always thought that one was Sable. I always thought that was Dominican Republic. Sable Dominensis. Sable Dominensis. Nice looking palm tree. Dominensis. Yes, Dominensis. That's it. So it's Presto, I thought 20s. Sable dominensis. That's it. You're only 17. Wow. Young, young, young. Enjoy being young. Yes. Can be difficult to be independent. It is. Growing up sucks, man. I'll never grow up. Getting down to 43 on the highest peak, Puerto Rico tonight. I got a friend that lives in Puerto Rico, you know. He used to live on Salt Spring Island. And he moved to Puerto Rico in January 2003. Friend of mine. I'm going to see what the temperature is here. Let's see what it is. Temperature is 8.6 degrees Celsius. 8.6 degrees Celsius here on the northern end of Salt Spring Island. Do we have pets? Yes, we have the dog, Kahoo, and we have a cat. So we have Kahoo, our little Yorkie. We have videos of him here. Getting down to 43. 43 is not bad at all. Yeah, we have a Yorkie and the kitty cat. Thanks. Yeah, I need to enjoy it while last. Enjoy being young, Palm Planet, because time flies, brother. I got to go, man. It was nice. Yeah, and I should roll soon, too, because it is getting later here, and I want to go have another little snack before I get to bed. I love you guys in here. You're awesome. Sometimes I get off topic. I'm sorry. I apologize. I get kind of wound up about all the other crap that's going on. I'm not going to talk about that next time. I can't be talking about politics and all that vaccine bull crap. I really don't care about that stuff. This is a Palm Talk channel, so I appreciate your guys' input in here. You guys are a fountain of information, too, here on this channel. Got to help Mrs. Clean up. Yeah, good thing. Help the Miss clean up. I was going to keep the wife happy. Happy wife, happy life. In Chicago, it's 3 degrees Celsius, 38. That's not bad. Not bad at all in the Windy City. So anyway, thanks, Mike. But yeah, I know sometimes I do get off topic. And anyway, you guys have been a blast in here tonight. And I wasn't really planning on doing a live stream tonight, but it was just kind of this last minute thing. I go, you know what? What the hell? I want to chat with my buddies out there in Palmland. Time flies. I'm not sure. Ready for the future. Yeah, I don't know what the future holds, man. Right now, it's a kind of a crazy time we live in, isn't it? It really is. It's not. I don't think it's the greatest time, but got to make the best of it and just keep looking at those palm trees. That's what makes me happy, you know. And that's going to be a really sad thing the day that this place actually does sell. If we do put it for sale and it sells, I'm going to be really sad. I'm going to be like so sad. So I have to start all over again. I would, with this YouTube channel, you will be seeing me build another garden again at 50. I'm 58 years old. I'll be 59 at the end of March. You will be seeing me, Wendy and I, build another garden from scratch. So you can follow me on that, and we will definitely be planting lots of palms. You got to remember, I have thousands of them in the nursery, no shortage of palm trees. So now, you know what? We almost have to, just because the interest rates are up in the bank, and we do still have a mortgage. And, you know, the mortgage will increase significantly. Hopefully it goes down in 3 years. We still got 3 years left on it, which isn't too bad. But if it went down, it's not a problem. But if the rates continue to go up, I couldn't keep the place, you know, because then my payments every month are going to be a lot more, right? I hope I live to 100, man. I hope I make it to 70. I feel good. I feel younger, and I mean, I got lots of energy all the time. I'm just cranked up all the time. I go to bed early. I try to eat right, and try to live a healthy lifestyle. It is a healthy place to live here on the island, though. I got to admit, it is a very healthy place to live on these islands. There's lots of fresh food, seafood all the time. There's lots of farm stands everywhere. Everybody's into organic stuff. Is your mortgage rate adjustable? We're locked in. I'm locked in for 5 years, and I got 3 years left on it, right? So what do I pay every month? Probably about $2,100. You know, so if I pay $2,100 now, and you know, I think we're 2% or something like. We're really low. Mortgage is really low here, the rate. But if it's gone up to like 5, I think now the mortgage. I think mortgage rates are 5.5, at least 5.5. It's crazy. But I can't go somewhere warm. Yes, go to Hawaii. Yeah, but so I would really. It's going to be a sad day to sell this. Thanks, Gem State Tropics. You're awesome. I appreciate you coming in, man. You were an awesome guy to have in here. Thank you very much. That is nice of you. Always nice of you to do that, man. I'm trying to save up for a new camera. Like, I know people have been complaining about the audio on this thing. And so today, Wendy and I are walking along the beach road, and she says, shoot a video of the sound of those beautiful birds up in the arbutus tree. There's thousands of red-winged blackbirds, and they're there year round, and they're just singing and making lots of noise. So I said, I'll try with this camera, but the audio is hoopered on it. So I shoot a video of the birds making a noise, and all you hear is it's like I had it resting on something. I was shooting a video and I was talking, and then it fell off and it hit the ground. So I think it screwed it up. So anyway, thanks a lot. Cheers to you, Gem State Tropics. Stephen, I hope one day we can meet. Come up. If you ever come up here to Canada, I will make sure I send you back with lots of palm seedlings. You can do the sneaky work and get them back through the border. I will give them to you. I will give you the palm seedlings. You know what I mean? I'll pull out a bunch of hybrids for you. I'll pull out a bunch of trackies for you, and you can sneak them back to Gem State, right? And I'm sure you'll get them back. Not a problem. My buddy came up here in the summertime. He was here in September from Tacoma, and he actually got them back through the border. Not a problem. You know what I mean? Me, they'd bust me for sure. You should save up. Yeah, GoPro would be good too. I'd like a GoPro. Have a nice week working. Yeah, so I work Tuesday to Thursday, but I'm behind the scenes. I'm actually not in the supermarket. You know what I mean? I'm behind the scenes doing maintenance and gardening and all that stuff. I would love to come to Canada. Just need to get the money to find the time. Yeah, time and money. But you know what? The good thing about you guys, your dollar is worth a lot more than the Canadian dollar, right? I think you guys are 26 more cents than a Canadian dollar right now. I'm pretty sure it's 26 cents at least. So for every dollar, your dollar's worth $1.26, right? So every $100, add on another $26. So your dollar goes a lot farther in Canada than a Canadian dollar does in the US. So bring your US greenbacks up here because Canadians love US greenbacks. I like US currency, man. I don't like Canadian currency. I hate the crap. Don't like it. Plastic money, don't like it. I like the American paper money. That's what I like. I love that stuff. It's old school. It's real paper money. The stuff we have here is made out of plastic. It's garbage. But anyway, yeah, we're always here. And if we're not here, we will not be moving far away. It'll be like on the Vancouver Island. Makes traveling. It does make traveling to Canada easier for US. We have a lot of US guests stay at our accommodations. Trust me. We had a lot of US guests this past year. I had really nice guys come from South Dakota, and they came to their brother's wedding here on Salt Spring Island, and we had a good chat. I always chat with them. I always show them if you want to see the garden, and some of them asked to see the garden, so they want a garden tour, so we'll show them around the garden. And I'm going to miss that. If I end up moving one day, I'm going to really miss stuff like that, showing people around the garden. Loonies and toonies. Yeah, well, you got the American dollar. I like the American dollar too. If I go to Canada, I will be in Niagara Falls side. Oh, okay, so it'll be on the other side. That's a 5.5-hour plane ride east of us. Yeah. And anyway, yeah, Gem State Tropics, I will try to do another one on Friday, a live stream. Yeah. Joe, get roommates. Well, we have B&Bs. That is an income for Wendy. She's got 2 accommodations here, right? If go to Canada. So yeah, no. I mean, we could have roommates in here, but I don't think I'd get along with them too well. I don't know if I want to live with anybody else in here. I already live with Wendy. I got to put up with her, and she's got to put up with me. But that's the thing with the B&Bs. That is extra income, but it's downtime. It is a downtime right now. The accommodations are quiet. We did have somebody stay here about a week ago. Yeah, just over a week ago, we had somebody here. That was the last guests we had, but they were from Vancouver, I think. But like I say, a lot of our guests do come from the U.S. Some of the states take goldbacks for currency, and they are worth. Really? No way. That's awesome. Some states take goldbacks currency. That is so cool, man. $5. Wow. That is pretty awesome. What is the accommodation title at the Airbnb? Magnolia Petal and Arbutus Blossom. So you can see it on TripAdvisor, right? So Magnolia Petal accommodation, Salt Spring Island. Oh, there goes my connection, and Arbutus Blossom. Connection just went, and then Arbutus, because there's towering arbutus trees above Arbutus Blossom. Like, seriously, they're like 120-foot tall arbutus trees. Subscribe to Ryan. He lives in Texas. Is he a good YouTuber? Cool. Magnolia Petal. Sorry, that's Magnolia Petal, not Magnolia Pet. Magnolia Petal accommodation, right? And Arbutus Blossom. And you can see them on TripAdvisor, on Facebook, and all that stuff, right? Palm clause for closing a sale and some another idea might tear it. Palm clause. What is the accommodation? So yeah, you can see them out there. Gem State. Look them up on Facebook or TripAdvisor, and then you can read the ratings and all that. And sorry, Tropical Plant Party if you want. Yes, I'll have to check those out. Tropical Plant Party. I'm subscribed to so many freaking people on here. I've totally lost track of it. Right. So anyway, guys, I'm going to roll. It's been great having you guys in there, and may your palm trees flourish. Hey, how's the weather? Hey, Stephen, how's the weather in Idaho? Is it still balmy and palmy out there? It's wet here. We're getting some rain, but it is mild. It's seasonal, so I'm good with it. So Wendy, if you want breakfast, that's extra. It's an accommodation, so it's self-contained. It's actually not really. We're not in the house with the guests. It's there's a cottage. Alberta's Blossom Cottage is totally, so totally separate. And then the Magnolia Petal is at that side of the house, and we don't even have to see the guests. They got their own. They got their own driveway. They got their own sun deck. They're sitting under the tree fern. It's actually pretty cool. They're surrounded by exotica. It's actually, they love it. It's very, very private here. And there is actually walking distance to a beach too. It's wet, windy, and chilly, but not frozen hitting. There you go. There you go. That's good weather. That's Trachycarpus weather right there in Idaho. You got to like that. See, that's another place I want to go is Idaho. Right on. Idaho would be a good place to go for sure. And Idaho is actually connected to British Columbia, just like Montana. So southeastern part of British Columbia, we can scoot right across into Idaho. If I went on a road trip, that'd be another place I'd like to see. My trachea is dark green with nice. So your trachea is happy. And you know what? They love rain. Trachees love this winter weather. They are growing like mad. Where's Wendy's here? I shot this today on Wendy's channel if you want to check it out. You'll like this. I shot a video of some of our Wagnerianus palms today. We have a lot of Waggies in the garden, but that's on Wendy's YouTube channel this morning. There's at least on B&B. So you guys there's B&Bs everywhere. There's hundreds of them on Salt Spring. With this cold, dark weather, that's cool. That's awesome. I'm glad your palms are doing good. You know what I mean? So maybe we're done for winter. Wouldn't that be good? Wouldn't that be good to make it all the way to spring right now and no more? I don't care if we get a little bit of, cold, little snow, but no frigid weather anymore. Just if we get a little dusting of snow, I'm okay with it. I don't want any more tons of snow up on the mountains here. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's B&Bs all over Salt Spring Island. It's this Salt Spring Island's a touristy island in Canada. That's what it is. And it, like I say, in the spring, summer, and autumn, very, very busy. And wintertime, it just quiets right down. Drove to town today. I think we've maybe passed one car, and that's like maybe a 15-minute drive max. And, you pass one car, it's quiet, right? One car on North End Road. There's more cars when you get to town, but it's still pretty quiet. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to roll. I have to get to bed at 9 because I go to bed early. I get up early and then I go into the gym and work out before I go to work, right? So you guys, take it easy. If you go to Illinois, you should go to Galena, Illinois. Galena, is that better than Chicago? Why not Chicago? I'm going to go to Chicago. Wasn't Al Capone in Chicago? Pretty sure he was. Take care. Hey, thanks for joining in. Thanks for the contribution, Gem State Tropics. Totally appreciate it, buddy. You're a good guy. And like I say, if you ever visit me, I will make sure I give you a handful of palm seedlings to take back to Idaho. I will give you some nice, hardy Salt Spring Island palm seedlings just for you. I'll pull them out for you. We'll get you some hybrids. We'll get you some Fortunae. And, man, we can even dig you out a Swampsonii, too. I was down there the other day looking at them. I did actually shoot a video, I think, on Wendy's channel of the Swampsonii. And they're thriving down there, man. They are just absolutely thriving down in that deep ravine. There we go. There's the video. You know what Wendy's channel is, Gulf Island Rock. Gulf Island Rock. You can see them right there. And I've uploaded a thing on Fargesia Bamboo too. So anyway, guys, hey, I will say good night to all of you good folks out there, you fellow palm nuts, right? And I will see you next live stream and I'll probably do hopefully next Friday. I'm going to be doing some house sitting for a friend of mine for 3 weeks. So I'm going to kind of be there and here. So I might be live streaming from there as well. And I have to remember to get their code for their Wi-Fi. Have a great night, Palm Planet. Thanks for joining in there. Thank for everybody's input, because we all help each other out here, right? If somebody doesn't know something, well, there's somebody else in here that does, right? All right. Good night. Piece of me. Palm Planet, Abstract Tom, Gem State Tropics, Blast Off. Who else is in there? There's lots of people in here. There was Clutchman, and Daniel's in there. See you, Daniel. And I'm scrolling back up again. I'm doing the scroll back up. And who else? Jesse was in there. So we had quite a few people in there today. And there's Palm Planet, Palm Tree Dude. There, and Jane was in there too. Jane was in there from Hawaiian Islands, which was super cool. So good to have you in there. So cheers and aloha. Have a good night, everybody. And hopefully let's just pray for mild weather. That's what we'll do. Take care. Till next time. Out of here.